All right. Y'all know what time it is. It's Monday night. We are back for another one. I am your
About
host,
time.
David Lorenzo Glover, aka the controversial counselor. Joining me, we don't have all panel members here, but I'm still going to go through their name because they're going to gradually stroll in. We got Herb Lewis, the big bad wolf.
Oh,
Willie A. Price speaks the truth.
Yeah, I'm gonna speak some truth tonight. I don't know how much truth I'm gonna tell. I don't know.
She joined us a couple weeks ago. We got the sassy Sharon. I ain't had no name for
Nice.
you, so I just brought that one up. I just came up with that. Plus, you sassy anyway.
I was sassy because I was drinking wine. No
You keep drinking. You keep drinking your wine.
no wine tonight, just water.
Then we're gonna have Christine comes correct all the time. Brooks, the lovable Lakia Perry, Annetta Life Coach Williams, and the
Now
youngest.
y'all need to change her name for real.
Shaughnessy Andrews. So we'll see who comes on, but the show's gonna roll on. So in the last broadcast, we discussed: have you ever gone to therapy or considered going? So things came out. People was talking and kind of giving their views on therapy and why they haven't went to therapy. So it was a deep cleansing conversation, but we had so much work to do. So let's get at it. So tonight, we will start off with the topic: does independent and strong lead to strong, lasting relationships? Because we know that's the buzzword. Women, I'm independent. I don't need no man to do anything for me. I pay my own bills. He can't put his hands on my kids. He can't do that. I do everything. So we're gonna go in. We're gonna dive into that. So too many women are using the word strong. What makes you strong? Because you show the characteristics of a responsible individual, which has nothing to do with strength, a self-proclaimed title within itself.
Maybe they can do a lot of push-ups or something.
Got a couple more people. Joining. I'm gonna get them in. Oh, hold on.
Well, I would say I've learned. Now I don't say I'm strong, independent. I'm a damsel in distress, and I need help.
Oh Lord!
All right, so we gonna get to that. Let me finish this introduction so everybody can see what we have on the plate. Okay, let me tell you what else we have brewing in Counselor's Corner. Number 2, when was your first experience with sex, and how did you learn about it? Yeah, we about to go deep on y'all. Yeah, about to reveal some things on here. Number 3, don't attempt to read your partner's mind. Too many people trying to be mind readers, whatever. You got to communicate. You just can't sit there and kind of project something without asking, even though, your previous relationship, a person might have behaved like this. So you automatically assume the next person do. You gotta ask them. Everybody is unique and different. So that's number 3. And number 4, have you ever ghosted someone or been ghosted? You know what I mean. Ghosting someone. Just said, I ain't calling them no more. They done. I ain't texting. I ain't responding to nothing. Some people go through the extremes of changing their number and all of that stuff. Yeah. Damn, it gotta be bad. I'd like to know if anybody
Blocking you on Facebook.
Yeah, all that stuff. So what happened? So this is going to be another good, courageous conversation. Join us, bring a friend or relative. Please like and share our video. And don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel, The Controversial Counselor, if you have not done so. So, got a couple people. Got the Master Barber.
Master B in the house.
Got Miss Anita.
What up?
Lord.
So here we have it. So quickly, I'm going to set this timer for this introduction when we go around.
We have a timer tonight?
Yeah.
That's good. Good job with the timer.
It's going.
We
Got
have a
10 minutes. So
timer.
what's good with everybody? Quickly tell me something good or something not so good.
Something good, or we talking about the subject?
No, we're just talking about overall.
Oh, what's good?
been going
Okay.
on.
Sounds good. Well, I'll go
Rufus and
first.
Shaka Khan.
I actually kicked off my A Better You Lifestyle, my nonprofit organization here in Niagara Falls. We did an event called Pulling the Race Card, where we invited all the city political leaders, pastors, community leaders, people like that together to have a conversation about race and racial diversity and how we can break down some of the barriers and work together as one city. We invited over 90 people and 6 showed up.
You didn't invite me? I would have showed up.
You're not a community leader.
How do you know?
You might lead some things, but they lead the community. So we maybe next time. I'll invite you to the next one
you
though.
said,
But
okay.
what I did was I decided we're gonna make it an annual event. But it was really interesting the way people actually outright refused to come. They actually told me, I'm not coming, I got better things to do. I mean, all kinds of things. And like I said, this was all about bringing the community together, but starting at the top, working with the community leaders and trying to break down some of the barriers that, between the races and different racial groups. And I had people literally fighting against it, telling people not to go to it, all kind of nonsense. So we had about 6 people show up. It's okay. They had a great time. They really enjoyed themselves, and they said that they were looking forward to next year. They actually invited us to come up to a couple of locations and present at the mayor actually came, which was really great. He came out, Mayor Restaino came out, and he was, talking to me about it. And we had a long conversation, about 30 minutes, because he had to go. And he's trying to set up some things in the city because he liked the concept and what we were doing. And he thought it would be really beneficial because the city is so divided and so segregated between black and other races as well.
All right. Remember, that's introduction on the timer. So we got like 7 minutes left. Anybody else want to tell me what's good, what's going on in their world?
Good. I like your hair, coach, life coach, certified life coach.
I was actually just going to follow up with what Willie was saying. There's money in divisiveness, especially when you look at Niagara Falls and Western New York as a whole. I read somewhere, now I don't know if this still holds true, but this was the 3rd most segregated region in the country, not New York, the country. So just bear that in mind. And it doesn't surprise me that the program met with that kind of resistance, and it's unfortunate. It really is when community and city leaders don't take something as serious as this, especially given the political climate that we're in, a little bit more serious, at least to just show up and attend and hear what's being said.
All right. Next. Sharon.
I found my
Anything good?
prescription sunglasses today. I was so excited. So that's what happened good today.
What happened?
All right.
I got in a fight with somebody. My eye is swollen, but they look worse.
Oh God, we ain't even got time to go into that right now. Oh God, I'm sure that'll come up. Sure that'll come up.
Hey, you wanted to come to my event? You ain't come to my event fighting folks.
I'm just kidding.
Shout out to Raheem, Urban Legacy Film, for joining us. Radiant Ronell, thanks for joining us.
My man,
All right, who else got something good they want to share?
What's going on, certified life coach? You always got something going on.
I've actually been pretty quiet. I've kind of been relaxing and just enjoying the moment. I wrote some policies and stuff for my job. So after I wrote the policies, like 32 policies, after I did those for my job and for DOH, Department of Health, they kind of told me to kick back and relax. So I've been chilling.
How did the rest of your hotel? How did the rest of your hotel stay go?
It was amazing.
You know I'm nosy.
And you know
Women
I don't tell
only.
anything.
Women only.
Get out of her business.
Thank you, Sharon. But he also
You know I'm
not
nosy.
going to share anything. So one thing I said being on this panel is that my dating life, my relationship life, it's always going to be private. That's the one thing that I'm going to keep to myself. So.
Oh, come on,
That's the
man.
fun part.
Nope, you guys can get all this other stuff. You can get, pictures of grandkids, my jobs, my accolades, and all that stuff. But that part is going to be all mine.
Whatever. Because I'm about to ask some questions again. But anyways, I'll let some other people talk. Go ahead.
All right.
March is National Women's History Month. So I'm on the diversity committee at Geico, and they started heading an ERG for diversity and inclusion for the employees resource for women. So we will be doing a women's panel this year. We do it every year, but it's really ran by the diversity committee. So this year it's going to be more on a corporate level than a regional level. So I'm working on that, and I joined a gym instead of working out in my living room. I decided to go to the gym, and I went today. So it's my start off for 2022.
All right.
How was it?
It was good. I was in and out. I always have anxiety about going because
Oh, okay.
I just get in trouble. All the guys always ask me if I need help. I don't need help.
Because you
That's one of the reasons why.
Because you independent.
I was like, okay, hour workout and I'm out.
Oh, okay.
Master Barber.
Let me know if you need any help with your diversity thing. That's what we're doing with this program, Race Card.
Okay.
What's going on? Let me see here. I came up with an idea that I'm soon probably gonna write an autobiography. I never thought about writing a book or anything like that, but lately that kind of been on my brain. You know what I'm saying? Life of me. Not pretty much. I haven't been out too much. I'm more or less like a homebody. But as the weather breaks up, y'all be hearing a little bit more from me and all like that. But I just been a homebody, maintaining my business, changing people's lives with the way they, the styles and the haircuts, the services that I provide. Say that again.
I said one haircut at a time, changing lives.
Yeah, Giving advice and learning new things about people, places, and things on a daily basis, man.
Nice.
So, yeah.
All right. For me, Sunday, got the this coming Sunday got the Baltimore Media Impact Awards. We're up for the YouTube channel of the year. So that's us. This is the Counselor's Corner. Nice. So hopefully name get called, get that hardware, represent. So we'll see how that goes. I look forward to it. Right, we got the youngest in charge just popped up. Hey, Shaughnessy.
Causing mischief and chaos in the group.
What? The baby. Look at the baby.
What mischief and chaos have I been causing?
You and your counterpart. That's all right. We gonna learn her. I'm joking.
About.
There's
that lady that was getting on you today. That's what you're talking about. That had nothing to do with me.
Well, a part of it is trying to see because her good for dishing it out, but her can't take it in.
No. You got to go read it. She was out of bounds.
I don't know.
Shaughnessy will tell you she was out of bounds. She was real close. She was real close to getting her foot put up her exterior posterior. Let me put it to you like that.
Oh, wow.
I never know you could do that virtually.
Why do you think some people have me blocked in that group and I haven't said much?
What I missed?
Go back and read. Go back and just read it.
I can't see you or I can't do anything. They got me in Facebook jail, so I can't.
You can't even log in and go back and read stuff.
To log in, I can't comment, and if I tap.
No, just go read it. Just go read it. All you got to do is read it.
I be wondering if somebody get in trouble.
The rat, get a burner account.
It ain't
I don't need Facebook that bad.
That time.
I don't know.
I was gonna say,
That's the end of the segment for introductions. But Shaughnessy just came on,
Right.
so we were
No, I
asking.
have nothing. I was watching.
You had
I
nothing?
have nothing. My week has been nice, normal, and regular.
Okay.
Nice.
All right. So moving right along, we're gonna jump into first segment, which is about the independent and strong leads to strong does it lead to strong lasting relationships? So we're gonna start off with the Master Barbara on this one. Not to put you on the spot, but I'm just calling people out. So with this question, what's your whole take on women saying that they're independent and strong? Anita, don't start with this damn system you got going
I
on.
can't really hear you.
You can't hear me?
I can't now. It was sounding like you was underwater.
No, that was Anita.
That was Anita.
She got, I don't know. What you got, Verizon?
That is StreamYard messing up, or is that my?
I really don't know.
That's you.
No. You said you
okay.
want to. Okay, what you were asking about?
The independent and strong. Some people may say the over usage of it, with women saying they're independent and strong, and does it lead to strong, lasting relationships? So let's talk about that.
Far from what I perceive of Black women in particular stating that they're strong. They described to me is responsible. They're probably mistaking responsibilities as strengths. And that's what I get from it. And as far as like the relationship thing like that, I kind of think it may have a strain on it or whatnot. It can cause somewhat conflict. But to each their own. I really don't elaborate too much on it, but I just noticed that amongst like a lot of the African sisters or whatever, they give themselves that entitlement of being strong, and like I said, what they're merely explaining is responsibility. Be it is that whether the education, holding down the household, paying their bills or whatnot. Just to name a couple.
Okay. All right. Anybody else?
Well,
I mean, he basically wants to just ask, is there any such thing as a strong Black woman, whatnot?
It's a double-edged sword. Well, go ahead. Whoever was speaking.
No, I was just asking, and that's in a relationship you're asking, or can you be strong, independent?
It's in a relationship. Didn't you say that, Dave? Part of it?
Yeah, it's pretty much in a relationship, being independent and strong, because I think sometimes guys, when they hear that in the initial stages, it might be a turnoff for them. And they may say, I'm not looking for someone that's I'm always going buck heads with every time, because they're because they're voicing their strength. So I just want to know, does that lead to strong and lasting relationships?
I think it might take away from the relationship personally. If women feeling like they're strong like that, then what do you need a man around for?
So I don't think being independent and not being able to function in a relationship is synonymous. If you come along and I am single and I've been doing things on my own, I conduct my household on my own, and as you or I merge together homes and we merge that together, and with or without you, I still maintain what I am able to do. That doesn't mean that I can't conduct myself in a relationship with you or I can't submit to you. But A lot of times you guys make it seem like when you're women, they're holding up these signs saying I'm a strong, independent woman. Like that's the first thing they say. Like, I'm strong, I'm independent, I don't need you. Like, and that's a lot, and I can see why that would be a lot for a man, but or for any man of that in that matter. But I also can see you meeting a woman that's strong, independent, et cetera, and she continues doing things after you guys meet or after you guys get to a certain point, and you let her know, like, hey, I got this. You don't have to do this anymore. There's no issue with that. You know that she can do it by herself, but now that you're there to do it, you're helping her out with it. I don't get the problem.
I guess my thing would be that if you're in a relationship, why does it have to be a label or title on either one of us in the relationship? And then my other thing would be that I think as individuals, we both come to the relationship with our own type of strength, our own stability, and all of that stuff. And so I don't think it should be a downplay on what someone has done or been doing or whatever. It's relationship dating is about collecting data, understanding who the person is, being able to adapt to their I call it BDA and AD. Before you start dating me and after you start dating me, you need to know that I'm still going to have my identity. I'm still going to be that independent person. I'm still going to be that individual. At the end of the day is coming together. We're bringing what we have together. It's called enhancement. It's not about anybody coming in 100%, the other person coming in 50%. I think that we get it all screwed up because we do come in with these labels and the names, and I'm one of them. I'm a self-sabotager. I know I am when it comes to relationships. But we also have to understand that you have to come in with a realistic goal and mindset that this person is not somebody that was raised in your household. I'm not going to have the same morals you have. I'm not going to have the same drive you have. I'm not going to have the same insight you have. I'm going to be different. You're going to be different. So I think that's the main thing we need to focus on when you look at relationships. Yes. Do you hear strong Black woman, the alpha female, this and this and that? You do hear a lot of those labels. And a lot of it goes back to feeling insecure or feeling that I have to explain to you what my credentials is, my credibility is. A lot of that goes into play. It goes into play with single mothers, letting you know I can handle it. As Master Barbara said, strong Black woman does not equate to somebody who is just doing their responsibility. You doing what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to pay the bills. You're supposed to maintain your home. You're supposed to go to work. You're supposed to get an education so you can get a job. So that doesn't line up to strong Black woman. Okay.
Okay.
Right.
I got for me, I would say I'm listening to everybody, and when I think of this topic and the way people are talking about it, when you say independent and strong Black woman or independent and strong woman, that's nothing wrong with that. It's when you come together with somebody is where you have to learn to kind of work together. And I hear people saying, you come together and who's got to give up something. But you think about it, if you're dating this person, they're still taking care of what they need to take care of, and you should still be taking care of what you need to take care of. So you're still an independent, strong person, and he's still an independent, strong person until you guys get married. And then at that point, you have to figure out who's going to play what roles or whatever. But prior to that, there's nobody really should have to give up much of anything other than not compete against each other when y'all together. Because you shouldn't, you meet somebody, you're not moving right in with them, and you shouldn't move right in with them. You should be getting to know that person, and the goal should be to get married, but people aren't getting married nowadays. So what you find is that, you have people moving in and shacking up together, and so now it becomes a battle on who's going to be in charge or who's going to be whatever the case may be. And like you said, if you've been in your house and running your house all this time, and now what? You move in with that man, or he moves in with you, which that shouldn't be happening either way. But the thing is, that's where the conflict normally comes about, because a lot of these guys are moving in with the women and then they want to take over the house. But that's not his house. It's still your house. So you are going to be the independent, strong Black woman in that house. And you're not going to allow some man to come in and he's going to come in and contribute, but you're not going to allow him to come in and take over your house. Just like if you were to move into his apartment, he's not going to feel comfortable with you coming in and taking over his apartment. So it's
His
best
apartment?
to stay.
Who's moving in his apartment?
Well, I'm just
Period.
because most of these people have
Hustling
apartments now.
bachelors. Hustling
Most of these
bachelors.
people have apartments now.
Then we can
you'll
move
find
into our own apartment together.
Right.
Right.
And that's the
Exactly.
key.
Yeah,
My
because if
bishop
you
said
got an
that too.
apartment,
Like it's better
you
to move in
yeah.
together than to somebody to move into someone else's house, because
Yeah.
it's just
Right.
you have that
and
dominance.
you'll find that most of these people, especially guys, now a woman, you'll meet a woman. That's why I said most of the guys are moving in with the women, because who do you
Right.
find being most homeowners nowadays? The women.
I don't even
The
think
guys
it's
have
that. I think
apartments.
that the guys have bachelor pads and they're less comfortable. I don't
I'm
think
just
I don't
explaining
even
the
think
situation.
necessarily, like my boyfriend has a house, right?
Okay.
I don't even want to spend a night there. I'd rather stay at my own house. I'm more comfortable. I feel like it's more conducive for the kids. Like, I don't know. We have more toiletries over here. I feel like this house is peanut butter, no jelly, milk, no cereal. I just feel like I don't know.
You don't have no shelf
that's
yet?
when you
don't have a shelf?
take that stuff to his house then.
Yeah.
I had the same situation.
Yeah, that's what I
with
said.
my
You're
ex.
supposed to have a shelf.
The same thing. He didn't
No.
have he had a bachelor pad, and I just when he invited me over, I hooked it up. I made it comfortable for me. So then when I'm coming over there, you're gonna have peanut butter, you're gonna have jelly. I'm bringing some toilet tissue. I'm doing all the stuff that you as a dude don't do, because men just don't do.
That ain't gonna fly with Herb. That is not
And see,
going
that's what I'm
to
telling you.
fly
That's what I said.
with Herb.
So that's why it's best to stay in. When you say independent and strong, when you have your own place, it's you're going to stay independent and strong, and you should be, because you're the one that's heading that household and taking care of what needs to be taken care of, so that house can stay, that roof can stay over your head. And the same thing with him. But like I said, for most, if you look at the majority of homeowners, a lot of them are women. And so you have guys moving in with women and then trying to take over that household. And that's not going to work. That's not.
I disagree with that, because
when you say take over the household,
yeah, it all depends on the dynamic of the relationship. Like,
they want to become the head of the household.
I would not have a problem moving in with my dude if he got a house, because I'm leaving a home I paid for. So I'm not gonna leave a home I paid for to move into an apartment. That's just not common sense or logical. So I wouldn't have a problem moving in with him, and I wouldn't have a problem with him moving in with me. My thing is, when you come to that place in the relationship, you come into an agreement that we're working together effectively. So it shouldn't be an I and a my once you get to that level of the relationship. You know what I'm saying? That's how I think.
And that's what I said. You have to come to a decision, a meeting of the minds, and decide, we're going to work together. But the thing is, if he has a house and you have a house, how do you determine who's going to give up the house and move in with the other one? Unless you're getting married.
And then you say, and then I'm going to give my house to one of my kids.
I would say in that, I would say whatever works most for, I guess, the family. Like for instance, for us, neither one of us is really going to be able to move into each other's house, because it's not space for everybody kids. That's just that. We have 5 kids together. It's not going to happen. Nobody can stay long term comfortably.
There are enough bedrooms here.
Right, exactly. So nobody is going to move into each other's house. But as far as I just really feel like it, just like Annetta said, it's the dynamic that you place. If everybody goes to his house and his children are there, my children are there, and I say it's gonna be A, just based on that's because of what I said. And if we come over here and he decides that it's gonna be B, is going to be B. That's what he said. Now, if we have an issue with that, we'll talk about it. But at the end of the day, we're still working together as a partnership. So it always has to be compromised. It's not a head of the house. No, I don't know.
Home ownership in
Communicate.
this country is 65.5%. Just wanted to put that out there.
What was that
A
number? What
weapon.
was it?
65.5%. So a weapon in the hands of an untrained person can do them as much harm as it can do someone else. I'll say that again. A weapon in the hands of an untrained person can do them as much harm as it does anybody else. That phrase, strong and independent, has been weaponized by women to signify that they're doing things, as Willie alluded to earlier, that are done by responsible adults. That's the equivalent of a man saying he can bench press 300 pounds. Who does that really impress? I don't know too many people that really impresses. Now, the second thing is nobody on this planet is independent. Let's put that myth aside and let's stomp all over that and put that in the trash can where it belongs. Nobody on this planet is independent. We all depend on somebody of the opposite gender to do something so we function. Doesn't matter whether it's nurses, doctors, teachers, or somebody working at a call center, whatever the case is. And I think that view that people need to take and apply is understated. You don't hear men say it because men realize that if there wasn't truckers, that they would have empty shelves. That if there wasn't women birthing children, there would be no next generation. If the teachers decided to walk out en masse, there would be no educated students. So when I hear that phrase coming from a woman's mouth, it lets me know that she's not worth me being bothered with that in any capacity.
So
Oh my
with
God,
that,
that is so crazy
actually,
for you to even say that out of your mouth.
So actually, the
Uh-huh.
word should be interdependence.
Correct.
That should what people should be working towards, interdependence. Where, again, I've talked about it before, where my strengths may be my strengths, but it may be a weakness of yours, but it balance out. And you may have strengths, and I may have weaknesses of, and you
Absolutely.
compromise and you work them out together. But it's no shaming that person for his weakness. You know, when company comes around and they're like, "Oh, that's a nice job. Who fixed that?" And they're like, "Oh, David fixed that. David can't fix shit," or whatever the case is. Whatever. That's what you don't do, or vice
That's
versa.
not
Man,
shaming. That's not shaming, Davey. That's David. That's emasculating.
whatever,
That is
shaming,
so
whatever.
crazy.
You can't tell me how to feel. I might feel shame for it. I
It's
may
in the
feel
same
shame for it.
category.
Yeah, same
that's
thing.
very emasculating.
Or vice versa. A guy
In
may
my
cook.
opinion,
A guy may cook. Anita, chill.
okay, well, I
You're
got
gonna
something
get
to
your
say.
time to talk
So,
after this. You're gonna get your
okay.
time to talk after this because you haven't had a chance to say anything. And it'll be the same thing if a guy cooked whatever and family came around and as a guy you're like, man, she don't make nothing, whatever. She can throw something in the microwave and warm it. That's not the point of it, to try to put your partner down. Nobody should even really know that. To be honest,
That's true.
Unless
but
you're
it should be
praising
between y'all.
somebody for something, I guess.
So
But that's
the
not a
platform
praise
is
what he
Anita.
said.
No, I'm just
platform
saying,
is
just
Anita.
unless you're, doing the opposite. Somebody's complimenting you on something like, "Oh, girl, this car clean." Girl, I don't clean this car. Such and
My
such.
man
did.
came my car.
Yeah, because if it was up to me,
All right, Anita, speak to us.
in my opinion, I guess I have to say, in my opinion, okay, before her picks it apart to say that's not true. In my opinion, people pick it apart to say,
What is
You
wrong
got
with
you got that. What's his name? That
you?
auto
Max Headroom.
Yeah.
You probably should keep your phone like in a certain area in your home.
T-Pain. You
Yeah,
got
'cause when she
T-Pain
moved-
going on around.
Yeah, as soon as she
Because
moved,
wherever
it
you're
started
moving it to,
acting
signal
up.
is bad.
You got to move back to where you were, Anita. Move back to where you were.
No.
Hold on.
Leave your
I can't
leave
see.
your
I ain't got
device
my
where it
glasses
is.
on.
Are you
But leave your
connected to
device where it
Wi-Fi, or
is.
are you using your cellular data?
I'm on my cell phone.
But
Okay,
leave
but is
your
your cell phone
leave it where it
connected to
is.
Wi-Fi? Maybe.
I'm holding it.
Yes,
That's
but
where it is.
the moment you move, it starts to disrupt your feed, and that's what's causing you to break up and lose your connection.
Okay,
So
well, that
wherever
makes
you are
more
right now,
sense.
you have to stay there.
All right, we can hear you now.
Okay, so
Yes.
Maybe not. Maybe not.
Nita, it's not gonna
It
work.
only acts up when you talk, Anita. So maybe you be quiet.
Yeah. We're gonna have to move on.
why later? Can you hear
We
me now?
can't hear you.
Yeah.
We would love
No.
to talk to you, but we
Key
can't hear
things, key things in the podcast thing, show lighting and sound.
You need some
Who's
spectrum.
next?
Yeah.
Shawty, why you say we love to talk to
I'm telling the truth. I think we do want to talk to her. We just can't hear her.
Okay. So
We can't hear
Lakia,
What's up?
what's going on? How you doing?
Good evening, everyone.
Hey,
You know, it was it's so interesting about the topic because I was just watching this movie on YouTube. I don't know if anybody's seen it. With Cicely Tyson. Rest in heaven, rest in peace to Cicely Tyson. It's called The Trip to Bountiful.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, beautiful, beautiful movie.
Good
But
movie.
Vanessa Williams plays this wife that's like everybody like. I wish she would sit her high pitched tail voice down somewhere. But her husband too strong, very kind of like demanding, and really just into character where you would probably like go sit down, like almost borderline disrespecting to her husband, but he respected her and he allowed her to be herself. But when he put his foot down, she listened, and so and that's what I've always hoped that people would do when it comes to me is just let me be me and know that when it comes to that time, like, and I let them be them, and we have that flow of respecting who each other are in our respective positions and who we have been throughout our life. Like now that we're older, we've experienced so much different things in life when it comes to relationships. So I believe, yes, to answer your question, being a strong person, yes, I believe that is a great thing to be. But when it's with someone that's not intimidated by it, that appreciates it, that loves a strong person, because I don't think anybody wants anybody that's weak. I don't want a weak man. I want a man. Okay. I don't want no man that's a pushover, but I don't want a man to I don't want him to let me take over him or dominate him. And I don't want him to dominate me. But I want us to have that understanding that whatever comes out our mouth is always love. It's always respect and not being prejudged. And that's what it kind of sounded like to me. What you heard, you prejudge people, that women that come up, well, I'm a strong woman. Well, let me just sell that red flag. No.
Hold on. Look here, let me ask you.
Okay.
Hold on.
We go.
Let me
Hold on,
finish.
Lakia.
Then you can reply. You can
I don't want to reply. I just want to ask you a question.
Sure.
Push pull only works with what?
With a string. What?
Push pull.
Push it. You pull it. One pulling, one pull. But you gotta still have a happy
Push.
medium.
Hold on.
Push or pull.
Pull.
Okay.
Not push and. Push pull.
A door.
Push pull. Hold on. Push pull only works with one thing well.
What's that?
What is it?
A door.
A string.
Nope.
What? A give and take.
AC power. It's designed like that. Men and women aren't designed to work in a push-pull relationship.
Who said that? Who? Where's that at biblical? Because I go by the word. Is it in the word? If it ain't in the word, it ain't God.
You don't want to do that to
I'm
yourself.
going
Don't
there
do
with
that.
you, sir.
Don't
Stay
do
in the
that with
word
me.
with
No,
me.
we're
It's
Stay
not.
in the
not.
It's
word
not
with
with
me.
me.
Don't come with ideologies that came from out of the sky that don't have no substance.
You don't understand how AC
You know
electricity
that.
works. That's
You
why it
know that.
sounds so
Come from the
foreign
word.
to you.
Darwin
Let's
said
come
it, or
from the
No,
word.
but that
Einstein. I
sounds
don't
like
know.
herd
It's
too.
it's
And
it's
Herd the
Einstein,
seven
it was
AC AC power
listen,
works
but
with
then there's
negative
also
and
magnets. There's magnets. There's the magnets that can come together,
AC power
and there's
does
some
not
magnets that you
work
got to keep
with
away from each other. That's the north
magnets. It
and
works
the
with a
south. So guess what?
charge.
There's some magnets that can come together, and if it's the two that can come together, like I just explained, let it be. But if it's the two magnets that can't come together, then it ain't there. So whatever, it can go either way, sir. Pull, push. But guess what? They still have to be a happy medium.
I would like to
But
say
that's why
that
I asked the
But
question, and you're
can
not
I finish my
understanding that.
I
statement though
understand. I
without
was just
any
about to say I
interruption?
understand what Lakia is getting at.
Yeah,
I
I
just
think Jill Scott said it best. She said, if you could tell me what to do, then you can
girl,
tell me
speak
what to
it.
do.
You can
And
tell
if
me
you
what to do.
can't tell me what to do, then you
You
can't
can't
tell
tell
me
me
what to
what to
do.
do.
Because
Don't
men,
okay.
sometimes men forget that you have to put a woman, like, we're not going to operate in our masculine energy all the time. I
Right,
prefer to operate in my feminine energy. But if you
right,
come in and you don't have that leadership in you, you got to have it. You got to have it in you and on you. You can't come in
right,
here. You can't come into my life thinking that you're going to lead, and I'm going to give
right.
up my feminine energy to you, and you're going to lead me down the wrong path.
And
And
take
you can
Because
advantage
the
of it.
tell
water
that. You can
drowning off
tell
the
that from
cliff.
some men. You get it
Hmm.
right away. You can feel that energy. And that's why some women go to that strong independent, because they're on the defense, because they feel the negative energy from that male presence that's coming to their life, bringing
Right,
that. So that, and men don't understand that much, that part about women. Sometimes you want to
right.
look at it as strong independent, but it really is a defense mechanism, because we're protecting ourselves.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what BGS just said. That's a power struggle. It's a
Mm-hmm.
power struggle.
But
It
So
is.
what happens in that aspect is we're still on that battle where we're fighting against each other. And like I
Right.
said before, a couple shows before, there was never, growing up around my grandparents, there was never a thing where my grandmother, and I'm just gonna throw this out, but I did watch the movie. Vanessa Williams was emasculating her husband nonstop the entire movie. She was very disrespectful. A couple shots in the movie, I wanted to grab her up by her throat. But at the end of the day, the thing is, you cannot emasculate a man and then
Right.
think that he's going to be sexually, intimately, emotionally attracted to you. It's impossible. Okay? They're not. And that's why most men do cheat. Most men do what they do, because they try to seek somewhere else to get them ego strokes. Okay, strokes. So my thing is, if I'm dealing with a man and I know off of dating and collecting the data that he is not going to lead me, then that's not the person I'm going to be connected to, because he's
Exactly.
not going to lead me. Okay. So my thing, and that's not a bad thing to him, and that's not saying he's weak. He's just not the one for me. Okay.
We are friends. We have become friends, sir.
That's when you go in the friend zone.
Friend
That's
zone.
when you go right in the friend
Yep.
zone. Okay.
Friend zone.
And
Oh,
I'm
gee, we don't.
unapologetically gonna put you in that friend
No,
zone.
But
we
you know,
don't. We
you
don't
know
go.
what
We don't
though?
go. Hold on. We don't go
what?
from a relationship to being in a friend zone with
But
every
I'm
buddy
saying
buddy.
that's
But
not
that's
in
what
No,
the
G.
happens.
Another
It
topic.
stops,
No, we're just
and they
meeting and we're dating. We're getting familiar
But
with each other.
and
I
right,
then
know
and
me.
then
You
men
gotta know who
will
you have to know who you are as an individual. I'm a strong, very voiced person. I'm a person who will automatically and self-protect because of my past relationships. So that's, I'm healed and healing, but those are triggers for me. So
yeah.
for me, I'm used to, I pay my bills, I ain't never had nothing shut off. I maintain. That's called I'm responsible. Okay. I know I am. But when I date somebody, I'm looking for someone with those same attributes that I carry. Okay. But I also want a man that can be strong in his quietness, strong in his vocalness, and somebody who can protect me. Okay. Because I still have, like Sharon said, I have a feminine side of me, and I love letting it come out. And I love being on the inside when you walk in. And I love you opening the doors. And I love you. You know what I'm saying? All of that. without a shadow of a doubt. But at the
me
end
ask
of
you
the
this.
day, we have to be honest and say we power struggle with our Black men. We power struggle.
But not everybody, and that's the thing.
Oh,
Not
yeah,
everybody.
I'm not saying all of us.
And
Yeah, but I know.
because
But
we're
I'm
trying
not.
to
We
navigate
gotta be
through life
honest
and not
and
get
say,
hurt.
and we see it a lot in the group, just in the group alone. We power struggle. And soon as we don't like something he say or she say, oh, you just a weak nigga, or you just this. You know what I'm saying? We automatically go for the attack and the defense mode. And I'm not saying all of us on the panel, but I'm just saying what I have seen and experienced. That's what happens.
You don't put that back down.
Cheetos. Put the damn Cheetos away.
Real quick, if I can finish my point.
You felt about what I was saying, Master Barbara?
No, he couldn't. He was
Damn Cheetos and them damn
trying to
Debbie
do
cakes
it.
or whatever, zebra cakes.
Can I just say this real quick? And I'm gonna just stick with the word. I decided in anything that I tried to do, let me just stick with the word. And this is the word of God for those that believe in it. I believe it's in any Bible across. We talk about the Proverbs 31 woman. And I'm sure y'all have heard this about the Proverbs 31 woman. And it said the good wife. And it was saying how where do you find a virtuous woman? And it said that her husband safely trusts in her, so that he shall have no need of spoil. And she goes out into the marketplace. He knows that she's not going to do evil, that she's going to do good. So when I'm just sharing pieces of it, that she's working willingly with her hands. That's a strong woman. And a woman that's going to go out to the merchant ships. This is her husband that's trusting his wife to go out and work and bring back food or bring back clothing or sew or whatever it is for their home to continue to be maintained. He's trusting that strong woman. That woman, so the thing is, if you are a Black man and you don't appreciate a strong woman that wants to get out and help maintain her home, then that ain't on the Black woman. You have to ask about yourself why you don't appreciate that, because that's that same strong Black woman I believe majority of all of us have been exposed to in our lives, either our mother, our grandmother, our aunties, some women that we look up to. I promise you, BGS, all your comments you making, and Raheem, I ain't seen your name in years because I don't be on the page like I used to arguing with you. Y'all all had some strong woman in your life, and you wouldn't be the man that you are today if it wasn't for that strong woman. And I'm going there with it. Yep, you too. Well, her sorry, you can. That ain't my fault.
I'm on.
But
Damn,
the
do I gotta
fact
bring the
is,
timer out?
there is there.
Well,
There we go.
all I was saying was that
Oh, boy.
sometimes it's misconstrued when a woman that's feminine and a man comes in and he's not that leader, he's not that one for her, and she shuts it down. They're viewed as, oh, well, she's just trying to be a strong, independent woman. But when it really is that you're getting put in the friend zone, and she knows that you're not her leader, so that's it. And then men turn it around and like, well, she thinks she's independent and she's a strong Black woman. No, it's not that. We put you in the friend zone. So take that rejection because you ain't the one, and keep it moving. Don't feel some type of way. And to be BGS or whatever his name is, saying that Black women are lousy friends, like that's so rude. And
then why y'all always want to be our friend if we're lousy friends?
Like whoever hurt you, BGS, go heal. Like you need some healing.
I'm curious to know
what Black woman
are...
hurt you, but you need some healing, sir.
No, he has multiple. With my understanding with him, so he can't be hurt because he shelters himself with many.
Yeah,
what
is
the
Yeah, they do, man. I don't think they have an inkling of who they're dealing with.
BGS, I be on his page. I be on his stuff talking to his people. I ain't scared of them. I don't scared of their heat.
It's not about. Hold on. When I say that, the first thing that people run to, or let me be more specific, the first thing that a lot of women that appear on this panel say is, "I'm not scared." It's called a healthy respect for information, and y'all all seem to step across. Well, let me not say that. A lot of y'all seem to step across that divide without having the prerequisite information to understand what he's saying.
I don't think I need a. I don't think
hold
I
on,
need a.
hold on,
Lakia.
What he's saying
Yeah.
is what black men have been saying for decades.
So what are
And
black
the
women saying?
information is supporting that.
Okay,
You
so
guys are, hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on. You're the least married, least partnered by percentage because Caucasian women outnumber you, so they have more in aggregate, but by percentage, you're producing children with men you don't like. If you can't have a relationship with somebody you're having a sexual relationship, then what does that say about the black women in this country in totality?
Okay,
That's
so
what he's telling you guys.
wait, so
okay,
wait,
so can
wait,
I
wait,
say
wait,
something,
wait.
Hurt?
Because that
Yes.
Okay, so
crazy. That was crazy.
for me, because I'm not offended because I'm not the black woman that you're talking about. But however, it's hard for me to receive it from black women that I do know from you, because from you it doesn't come as corrective criticism. It doesn't even come as encouragement. It doesn't even come as something that would enlighten them to do better. It comes as an attack, because I'm talking to a black man who has emulated and stimulated how much you despise the black woman and that you praise the white woman. So it's hard for me to receive absolutely anything you say pertaining to me as a sister and my sisters to encourage us to do better or support you or help you do better, because you don't come with compassion and love.
News flash. I'm not trying to correct your behavior. I'm not trying to correct any woman's behavior that's on the side of 40. If you can't self-correct, then the issue isn't mine. It's yours.
All right. So my
I
question
get
is,
what are but just as you make it so key and prone for black women, with I could say black man with a cats and can't have this, and you're unstable because you obviously don't have a good relationship with your mother and your father, so what makes any relationship after that unstable, and because you don't have a good relationship with them, you have unstable, inconsistent relationships. You are bitter, and you bring on bitter, angry conversations because of those failed relationships. I could say all that, but I wouldn't label you because I don't really know the dynamics of your relationship. So for me, it seems unfair and it seems very targeting for black women when you make those comments, because you have a panel of black women who are not like that, and some may be, but at the end of the day, this is just a panel. You don't know anyone's personal life, how we're exhibiting our life, how we're living our life, and what we're putting out. So whenever you make those comments, they come off as if you're demeaning the black woman. I will say this, women as a totality, and I've always said that, sometimes women are combative and they are doing this and they are putting the men down and they're not supporting them. I do see that, and I see the function of the relationship have failed from families. But what I will not do is be categorized or put in a category with other women who have hurt you or hurt any brother.
Anetta, let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question.
I'm speaking for the women on the panel. We will not.
Let me ask you. Oh, that's fine. That's fine. Number one, I haven't attacked anybody on the panel. I just made a categorical statement. If it don't fit you, then don't address it. But let me ask this question. If the government came out and said, we gonna give black women $100,000, no questions asked, are you gonna take that money?
Would you turn down $100,000?
That was not the question I got asked. I said, are you gonna take them? Are you gonna take the money?
I'll speak for it. I'll take it.
Then accept it. Then accept the criticism, whether you like it or not, when it applies to your gender and your ethnicity.
So listen,
period.
It seems like I'm gonna have to go to the 3-minute rule. It seems like I'm gonna have to go to the. I really wasn't trying to go to that robotic shit, whatever. But it seems that way.
One question. What is on this panel, for the men on this panel, what are you guys defining as a strong, independent black woman? Because I think go ahead.
Somebody I don't want to be associated with, especially in a domestic capacity.
What I'm asking you, and I'm asking you this because to me, I'm not walking around with a sign saying I'm a strong black independent woman. Woohoo! No, I take care of my responsibilities. I do what I have to do. I was raised by the men in my life to be able to do certain things as well. So yes, can I change the filters in my house? Can I do an oil change? Can I change my brakes? Can I change my tire? Can I change the light bulbs in my car? Yes. If I have a man, in which I do it, I'm not touching a damn tire. I'm not. I'm just not. But I can do all of these things for myself. However, if it's a man in my household, I am not doing those things. So does that make me a strong Black woman because I do know how to do those things and I can do those things for myself when I'm alone?
Listen,
Go ahead, David.
I'm
I mean,
asking questions.
I know
No,
you
I'll answer,
said
but David was speaking.
you said you asked a question to us, whatever. I don't have no problem with that approach. I would hope that you're strong and that you have some independence
Some life
because
skills.
because there's going to be a time that I may not be around or whatever the case. So it's vice versa. So I would hope that. So that's not going to bother me, but I would hope that we can bring it together again and it forms into interdependence. That's what I
Right.
would be seeking for.
Exactly.
So all of that stuff, I'm not gonna say, "Oh, I'm the damn boss. I run this damn house," or whatever. No, that don't even make that don't even make sense, whatever to me, whatever, because it's a partnership. Everybody has a role to play, whatever. It's a team. There's no I in team. That that cliche statement. So it really doesn't bother me. But if you're someone that a man is trying to get with you and you shooting down every damn thing he says because nope, or you say, what could you bring to the table? Oh, I can do this, I could do that, I have my own job, I have this, I have that, and then I don't think that's good. I don't think that's gonna work for a great deal of people. I really
Can I
don't.
ask a question? Can I ask one question? So, and this is actually to her, and it may seem like I'm coming off with some shade because the low key I probably am a little bit. But when you meet a woman, she has a vehicle that she worked hard for every day, and she comes and picks you up to go on a date because you don't have a vehicle. That ain't a strong woman.
That's a competent adult. Next question.
So that
My
was so
daughter,
with the
my
man
daughter
being
looked at that like
incompetent.
that was a hot mess answer. And
So
she
I'm
only
saying
17, but okay.
because if she picking him up, would the man be considered incompetent
I
because he
said
No,
doesn't
that's a
have a vehicle?
competent. I said that's a competent adult, meaning that she's doing what she needs to do to facilitate her life. See, we've already been over this topic before, but y'all new to this, so let me break it down for you. If you go to New York City, guess how many people own a vehicle?
No, we're
Very
good with
few.
that. I mean, I'm born and raised in New York, so I
Hold on,
have.
hold on, hold on, hold on, Shawnee's. I was asking the question to the person that's trying to throw shade.
you listen. I don't know because
Trying to,
I don't
because
see
I,
up to
I,
that.
I have self-acknowledged that I don't
Listen,
need a
because
car.
I don't have to. Who has time? You don't. But the fact of the matter, when a woman works
Listen,
hard, she's a strong woman. That's a
She's a
strong woman.
competent adult.
That's a
I
she's still strong. Why would you want to say that she's not strong for being able to
because see,
maintain having
this is
bills
why we
and
say women don't listen.
yeah, I think that
The
word just
first two
get people.
things, the first two things that I said
what's the
is
difference
that
then? What's the
the
difference?
first two things that I said on this topic
Uh,
was that a weapon in the hands of the wrong person can do them as much harm as it does
okay.
somebody else.
What is the
The
difference
second
from a
thing I said is
competent
there's
woman
no such
and a
thing.
strong woman?
The second thing that I said is there's no such thing as an independent individual. Did you not hear that?
But you don't. Did you
Li-
not hear that we're
Did
not
you
saying
not
that we're
hear that?
independent?
hey,
We're
listen.
not.
Let me
A
interrupt. Let
strong
me
woman is
interrupt.
not just
Let me
it's
interrupt.
not.
Let me interrupt. We're not gonna make this about y'all going back and forth, whatever, because we know that
No, I'm trying to have
that's what it's gonna be.
understanding.
I want Willie to come in with his feedback on Master Barber. Then we're gonna move on to the next subject, and we'll never get through these subjects in its entirety and come with any peace. But I just think we're gonna have to move on. And I'm trying to again not have the robotic timer. I just want free flowing conversation. And I know certain things said that you're like, oh hell no, I got to address that. But for the sake of people that's watching, they don't want to probably be watching something stuck in the same point, and they want the show to move on.
But may I ask a question? But if what's the difference? Since you're saying that we don't listen, So all I'm saying is that what's the difference between a competent woman and a
So you
strong
went
woman?
right
What's the
back to
difference?
that. You went right
But
back
okay,
to
then
that.
go on. Then go on. Go on.
I'm just saying.
He didn't have an answer, so that's okay. Go ahead.
You didn't.
I listen. Hold on. Let me put a final point on this, David. I had the option 10 years ago to buy a home or buy a car. I opted to buy the home. You know why? Because it's a sound financial investment. A car isn't. If I want a car, I can go out and buy one, but it serves me no purpose. I get around fine to do what I need to do in my life, absent of what anybody else thinks about me. And that rubs a lot of people the wrong way because they think a man should have X, Y, and Z. David and I have been through this already where a gentleman came on and tried to criticize me and actually end up eating his words. I'm 50. I don't need to dictate my life based on what somebody else thinks I should achieve. That's where a lot of men get the game screwed up. They end up going out trying to impress a woman that doesn't want him. Newsflash, I'm good with my life as is. I don't need to quantify what I do to anyone else.
Okay, I thought we were going on to the next topic.
But okay, yeah, sure. This is crazy. Anyway, next, Willie, what do you have to say?
What do I have to say? I think
Yes.
the issue is that people always want to put a label on something. And that's why I'm sitting here. Why you asked a question earlier, Shaughnessy, about you said, how do you determine what was it? Strong black. You said so. You asked a question.
Yeah,
But nobody
I
actually asked the question.
Right. Yeah.
What was your question again?
I was saying,
going to respond.
what are men using to determine or see what they determine as a strong black woman, other than these women that you're meeting that's holding up signs
Right.
when you guys meet them saying, I'm a strong black
So
woman?
now, see, that's where I see the problem is. I don't give labels. If I meet a person, I go by that person's personality. I don't say, oh, you're a strong black woman or a weak black woman. I go by a person's personality and how we relate or don't relate. I never give a label. So then there's nothing to live up to. When you start labeling and giving terms and titles, then you that's where the issue starts. Because if you meet a woman and she says she's a strong black woman, and the man says, well, you're not strong, or what makes you strong, now it becomes a debate in the relationship. And even if you work through it, in the back of your mind, you're constantly wondering, does he still feel that way? Or is this still an issue? Or he's just letting me, See, when you start labeling things, that's where the problem starts. When you start giving titles, strong black woman, strong black man, alpha woman, all those kind of things, all those labels means that now there's going to be some kind of competition, some type of standard you got to live up to. Why not?
Or you just magnifying my struggle? Really, in my opinion, that's all that means to me.
If you're in that relationship with that person, why does there have to be a title in that relationship? Why does there have to be a label in that relationship? We're in a relationship. We're getting to know each other. We're going to develop and see how we grow together. And then from there, we're going to see if we work out. There is no title. So if there's no title, there's no competition. There's no challenges. Because
we had whole shows on this.
I'm not holding you, I'm not holding you up on no situation where something don't work out for you. Oh, I thought you were a strong black woman. See, you know what I mean? Then they throw that thing to you, or you throw it back at him. Something doesn't work out with him. Oh, you're supposed to be the man of the house and you ain't leading. So, I mean, when you start giving titles, then it becomes an issue. But if you don't give a title and you just be with that person and get to know that person, that's why I always talk about on this show every week, communication. If you can sit and talk to a person and you guys can have a civil conversation without having to attack each other or arguing and fussing, peace of mind is the best thing you can have in a relationship. If anything, I'm going to call you my peace of mind, if that's what you are. If you're not, then I'm gone. I'd rather have peace of mind than a strong black woman or a strong black man or anything else. If you give me peace of mind, then I'm good. So that means I'm going to look forward to seeing you every time I see you, because I know with you, I'm going to have peace. If I can't have peace with you, I can't be with you.
Amen.
So I don't get labels. I never get labels. That's all I had to say.
Peace. Yes. Key.
I definitely appreciate that.
Master Barber, you want to close out this topic since you started it off?
I thought you said since you-
Yo, everybody said a mouthful, man. I really don't know. I don't want to touch it, man. I'm ready to move on to the next subject. But you know, if it works for you, fine, man. You know, to each their own, man.
I'm gonna let you off the hook. I'm gonna let you off the hook on this one, whatever. Just for the sake, because it can
Yeah, because it's touchy.
prolong it.
It's
Yeah.
touchy, man. It's touchy.
So I'm gonna let you off the hook on that one. To each his own. I don't know if that's acceptable, but I'm going. I'm gonna let you off the hook. Segment 2. When was your first experience with sex, and how did you learn about it? And it's basically coming from a lot of people. We had sex at a young age, but have we been properly taught about that? Did parents sit down and talk about it? Did you learn it from your friends who were virgins like you were, and they were lying on their Johnson or whatever the case is? Because these conversations need to be had, but they need to be had, I guess, at a appropriate time. Not when you're 6 or 7 years old to be talking about it, but at a time that you think like, okay, it could possibly go down. And to me, well, I don't know, man. When you work in the schools, I don't know. Maybe kindergarten may be the appropriate time, because you got second and third graders, first, second graders sending nudes to boys and all that stuff. So I don't know. It's that
When you
crazy.
said what? What grade?
When you got, I ain't gonna say second or third. I may be ad-libbing and second, but damn sure in the 4th or 5th grade, sending nudes and stuff like that. So when they sending that, it's time.
That's not sex, though. That's not having sex.
But
you know what? The thing about it is, Willie.
That's planting the seed.
The thing about it is, Willie, that can land the students in a lot of trouble. And I'll harken back to when I was doing volunteer mentoring at a local preparatory school here.
Yeah, sexual assault, right?
Hold on. No, it's not that. What it is essentially pornography. It's the transmitting the pornography, and because you're doing it over
minors. But it's not minor to minor.
Hold on. Let me lay it out. The first week of school, which is abbreviated, they had everybody come into the auditorium by grades, and what they were talking about are the images that if you send via a phone, because you're utilizing federal communications ability, it's a felony. So if you send a nude picture or anything like that, it automatically gets you in that category, whether you're underage or not, because they're trying to put a stop to it. When I heard it, I was floored, which is the one reason they encourage teachers and administrative staff to never give their personal phone number to any student, because if that image is transmitted to you, you're automatically in trouble. Like it, dislike it, think it's harmful or whatever the case is, trying to make excuses for the age, it's something that can land students in a lot of trouble. Now, I don't think that is taught from an early age. It's like David's saying, 2nd, 3rd grade, these type of conversations need to be had, because students become victims of their own ignorance. I'm just putting that out there. So it's real what David is saying. It's very real.
But that also still falls up under sexual harassment. I do counseling for all sexual types of sexual harassment, sexual addictions. That all still falls up under sexual harassment. It's just, it'll be charged differently, but it all falls up under sexual harassment.
No, I do have
it's just like with a job. If you say something inappropriate to somebody, even if it's her word against your word, his word against his word, or whatever, it's sexual harassment. You can be let go. That's the same thing with schools. Schools are doing the same thing. That's why they have this sexual harassment video that they try to make sure they give it to all of the staff as well as the children. When you're transmitting any text messages, it can be a picture, it can be a comment, it could be a picture from somebody else that it was forwarded to somebody else. It still falls up under a sexual charge. So it doesn't matter,
And then they're
It
saying
doesn't
under
matter.
a certain age, they're counting it as kids just experimenting too, which is
No, but
bothersome.
not in the schools. Not if it's in the
No,
schools.
this is in the schools, the police station. I know in the state of Virginia, I want to say under the age of 11. If there are 2
Mhm.
students that are it's some with the communications on the phone with any sexual acts or something like that, if it's not clear cut rape, I said no. If it's not that, they are counting it as these kids experimenting, which is crazy. I agree it's crazy, but that's what they're starting to count it as.
Well, typically in the school, you have a conversation. They're young, so you have a conversation with them, and you let them know it's not like they get charged out of it. It's a teachable moment. You have conversations with them, and you let them know if you continue this, then this is what could happen. Now, if they continue to do it over and over, then then that's where the problem comes in. Because usually when you say it, they scared as hell once they know adult knows what's going on or a parent find out, unless
Mhm.
they some type of deviant and they just don't give a damn. But
Mhm.
usually most kids are afraid. They're getting it from their parents, then they're like, damn, my counselor
Or they
got
getting
on
it,
me, my
or they
teacher.
getting it from an older sibling or
Yeah,
an
so
older cousin. It's
Mhm.
normally it's a learned behavior. Those are
Mhm.
learned behaviors, and it's unfortunate that children learn those behaviors, and then they learn to be sexual harassed children that harass people sexually. Then they become sexually harassing adults because it's a learned behavior
Mhm.
that's never tapped into, and they never got
Right.
counseling, they never got any type of support, any type of help. So then it comes, that's just like the girl, the later conversation we're going to have about stuff. It's some things people have to be forthcoming and honest with and say, this is where I'm at. I need help in this
Mhm.
area. And once you get that acknowledgement and reality of that you need help in that area, then that person can get the help they need. But if you sit here and you like, oh no, I don't got no problem, I'm perfectly fine, I love my life, life is wonderful, it's treating me great, you're lying. Every last one of us on this panel have suffered some type of
Mhm.
dysfunction in our family. And for people to sit
Mhm.
here and act like, oh no, I'm perfect, I'm in a world, I am happy being single, I'm
yeah,
not happy
straight up.
being single, I don't need no man, that's a lie, I do. It's just like people just, I don't know why people want to go with these false cliches. I say it all the time, I say it on this panel. We just too old to be lying to each other. I don't owe nobody no obligation. You ain't paying my mortgage, my light, my gas, it just to be honest.
And
Yeah,
that's
you don't
true.
gotta lie to kick it.
I mean,
But
why you got
but
lying, Craig?
but we want to we want to go and we want to and that's up to y'all if y'all willing to disclose the information to talk. I ain't talk about graphic details of what happened, but when did that come a part of your world? So we're gonna lead off with maybe a Willie moment on this because I have
Oh,
a
Lord.
story to tell. I have a story to tell too, but hey, what about
I bet
proudest
y'all it's
moment?
gonna be some older girl that was 4 or 5 years older than y'all. They took
Nah,
advantage.
ain't
Wrong.
that.
Actually, it's funny because Dave and I kind of had this conversation earlier when we were trying to come up with how to address this subject. And I brought it up a different way, and when he brought it up this way, I said, you know what, this is actually better because when we talk about your first time, and that actually made me laugh because Aladdin made me think about something. But my first time, I was actually 14, and she was 12. But the thing was, when I met this girl, I was in high school, and she was in the 8th grade. But the thing was, she knew so much. She knew so much, and that was I was a virgin basically, and she knew so much, and she did so many things, and that was my first time, and it baffled me that almost every day I was at her house, and we were doing things. Her parents worked all the time, and it got to the point where one day we were just talking and just get like, but most of the time we're just going over there doing things. And one day she told me to come over. I went over there because, like I said, her parents always worked in the evening, and her father came home. And this was right around Christmas. Her father came home, and I hid in the closet.
I am glad to see
and I was
you
hiding
alive.
in the closet, huh? And I was hiding in the closet, right? But it was wintertime and it was almost Christmas, and I had got some new boots for Christmas, and I had left my boots in the hallway. So when he came home, he said, "Who's here?" Now, mind you, I'm hiding in her closet, and he's looking through the house like, "Who's here?" And she's like, "Ain't nobody here. What are you talking about?" And she said, "Well, whose boots are these in the hallway?" And she was like, "I don't know, I don't know." And so he said, "Well, I'm going to go get your mother from work, and I'm taking these boots with me. And we're going to come back, and we're going to find out who's in the house." And he took my boots and went to get her mother. Now, I was more afraid of her mother than I was of the father, because I knew the mother. Everybody knew the mother had a gun, and she was known for shooting at people, this whole nine. But he took my boots. I ended up putting on some rubbers that you pull over shoes, and putting on those rubbers and running all the way home in rubbers in the snow. And my mother was like, "Okay, where are your boots we just bought you?" And I had to go back, and I ended up having to go back and get my boots from this house. And it was crazy because when we got there, the mother was home, and I took my two friends with me. And she was saying, "Well, come up here. I'll give you your boots." And I was like, "No, I'm not coming here." Because she had a gun. She had a gun at the top of the stairs. She told my mother, she said, if he'd have came up the stairs, I was going to shoot him. And the thing that made me remember this story, and I kind of went through a lot of it because it just really baffled me that this girl knew so much about sex at such a young age. And I mean, when I say knew about sex and was doing things, it was just amazing. Like, I was 14, and I was like, wow, all the things she was doing and the things we were doing together. And then later, like a year later, I found out why the father was so upset is because he had been abusing her and doing all these things to her. And the mother caught him and shot him.
Oh.
And and she ended up going through a lot with being sexually abused and turned to drugs and everything. So it just really makes you think about how something that happened to somebody so young. And I saw her maybe about 5 years ago, and she was on crack, and she no teeth, and I mean, she was a very pretty girl growing up. But that whole situation with her stepfather abusing her all that time, and that's what she used to always say, my stepfather not here, I want you to come over because I don't want to be around him. But she never said why she didn't want to be around him. But that's what we found out later. And the mother shunned her at that point. The mother took it out on her. You took my man, and all that kind of stuff. So she went through so much abuse, and that for it to be my first time, that was my first time. But it just makes me think about her. And I was, like I said, I was 14, she was 12, and I was so excited because I'm like, this girl know everything. And I'll be going home telling my friends, and they was like, "Yo, she do all that," and I'm like, "Yeah, man." And I'm going to, and I was going like over there every other day, just like because her parents be at work all day, and to find out that that's what was going on with her, and then her mom threw her out the house. I mean, it just was really sad to know that she went through so much, and it wasn't her fault that what was happening to her. But the mother took it out on her. She like I said, she shot the father, and it was just so much craziness going on. But when I saw her like 10 years ago, she was just drugged out and just really sad. So I just that made me think about that whole situation. It's not a good situation, but it just, when you asked me about that first time, that was my first time with that person.
So I got some numbers to add to that situation. I'm not a numbers person, but it just happened to come up. So it says 1 in 16 women first sexual experience was assault. was sexual assault. Then it's
I believe it.
39% was between the ages of 15 to 17. 7% were younger than 10, which is very, sad. Like even 15 to 17, it's all sad. But to think of a baby on younger than 10, 29% between 11 and 14. And then women of color and women in poverty were at a higher risk of first-time forced sex. So it's a lot of different dynamics that go on. And as you get to know people and they talk about certain things, this stuff comes out, and you understand why people behave the way that they behave, because a lot of it is trust and different things like that, or they're guarded. So we can't. I know we joke around, we laugh, we come at each other, but you can't take this stuff too lightly because it's real. Then I'm going to piggyback on my experience in my first time.
Real quick, Dave, before you get in, I just want to say, and what you were just saying, the other thing too, and that's where when we were talking about, I think it was last week or the week before, where we were talking about how getting counseling is so shunned in the Black community, in the Black family. So a child like that who's been through that, the family will hide her, or keep her low, make her be quiet, or they don't take her where she can get help and somebody help her to work through those situations, or him to work through those situations, because little boys go through the same thing too, and so to get help is where the problem is. We're so quick to not want people in our business, and then what happens is our that child grows up having to hold in all those misunderstandings about how she should be treated by an adult, especially when they've been abused by an adult, and is, how do I act, or what do I say, how am I supposed to know what love is if this is what I went through, and this person's supposed to have been an adult and love me, but this is how they took advantage of me. And we don't seek help. We don't allow our kids to get help and go for counseling. White folks quick, and I say white folks because they are quick to go to counseling, and they quick to tell you they're in counseling. But we're the total opposite in the Black community. It's like you say, I'm going to counseling, and people think something wrong with you. Well, there is something wrong with you. That's why you're going to counseling.
All of us.
That's because they, like I stated at the previous shows we've had, that's because
you were the one that brought it up.
They growed up in that custom, and being in behavioral mental health and counseling, and as a behavioralist and a nurse, a lot of times they're told what happens in the household stays in the household. So what end up happening is you have a lot of broken children that become broken adults, because they're not told that they can have an outlet. People think of counseling, they think of, oh, you just put my business in the street. We have an oath. We can lose licenses and everything else. And I don't think I know anybody, unless they just plain stupid, that would want to lose their credentials that they have worked so hard for a person that they have no mere connection to. So my thing is that counseling is out there. Is counseling for everyone? No. Let's be honest, it's not. Some people may not need a counselor. Some people may need a psychiatrist. Some may need a psychologist. Some people just may need some real good deliverance. But at the end of the day, at the end of the day, everyone needs somebody to just downpour, just to tell, vent, and be able to communicate in a healthy way. I think a lot of times these children now that we deal with, we live in such a sex-driven society. Everything is sex-driven. I mean, I don't care if you watching cartoons. You got two male cartoon characters that's gonna kiss. They gonna hug. Everything is such a sex-driven atmosphere right now that these children, that's all they see. When I was growing up, the sexiest thing we did was play red light, green light, and hide go see get it, okay? And you was getting caught before you thought you was gonna get it, okay?
Wait, what? So, how did you see get it?
And that was nothing
more. But you know what? Shani, you the same age as my oldest child. He might be a little older than you. So hide go see get it was like you go hide somewhere. If the boy or girl find you, you had to kiss them or something. That was just the most.
give 'em
Oh,
some.
you're
Wasn't.
freaky.
It wasn't like, oh, you
Hell
Smack
did
they,
no.
whatever.
smack their ass, do something, fill them
I
It
up,
was
go
or
right.
get
whatever.
It
it.
was
When
something they
yeah.
let you touch their little flat boob or something like that. That was the high go see. That was our excitement, like for the summer. Like one of my grandparents in the house was like, "Oh, he kissed me on the cheek. Oh my god!" And then next thing you know, you like, "I think I'm pregnant."
Yeah.
You know, so
And if my mother listening to this, yeah, we play hide and go get it. Three, 4 times a week. About 3, 4 times a week we play.
But I
Thank you.
I also want to say that my experience of sexual experience growing up, it was a little different because I was raised in a very spiritual, religious household. So it was a disadvantage for me. I'm very honest. My book I wrote talks about it. I'm very honest about how it was a disadvantage for me growing up in that aspect because I grew up thinking that you have to be married to have sex, which is biblically. But then I rushed into a marriage,
So you can have sex. Ha!
and look where I'm at now. So the thing is, we have to be careful on what we're teaching our children and make sure we're teaching them healthy ways of communication, healthy ways of relationships. Because a lot of people are rushing to and I got married at 17. My ex-husband was
Wow.
my first. He was my first and all my children, and we stayed together almost 30 years. Okay.
Another. Let me ask you a quick question, real quick, because it's going to allow you to elaborate. Do you think if you were able to break that mold in which you grew up in, things would have been different for you? Outside of you not being married, and of course the children being by your father, how much different do you think things would have been different for you?
Children by your father.
By her
Children's father.
husband, you know,
By
the
my
children's
ex-husband. I know
father.
what you mean. I know what you
Yeah.
mean.
I know that.
I don't really think it would have been different because that was my atmosphere. You know
Okay.
what I'm saying? So I don't really think it would have been different because all my siblings, we all basically grew up thinking the same thing, and all my siblings were married. Okay.
Okay.
So I don't think that would have changed it. I think that currently, right now, I'm trying to relive what I didn't experience. So I'm real comfortable with dating now because I never got to date. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
And
Yeah.
so it may be a disadvantage for a man that want to get in a relationship with me now because I'm like, oh, I'm good. You know?
So
And he probably like, well, no, I really just want to make you one. So it is the disadvantage now. But again, I also had to go through from the age of 8 to 13 being molested. So I
Oh.
had a lot of things that went into play with that. I got married young because actually my ex-husband was my rescuer when I was going through that. Okay. So
Wow.
I married my rescuer. I married my knight in shining armor, who I felt was going to protect me, that this would never happen to me again. So that's why I always tell people my marriage wasn't all bad, but when it got bad, it got bad. So I feel that sometimes our upbringing will change the narrative of how we deal with relationships, but we also got to change our mindset and become healthy. So for me, the counselor needs a counselor. The behavioral nurse needs a behavioral
Absolutely.
person. So you
Absolutely.
need somebody that can get you through that, because I never, and I say to you guys on this show, I never say it was just my ex-husband that failed the marriage. We went in together, we failed together. So I played my part, and my part was a lot of going into the relationship with a lot of brokenness and asking him to be the one to fix it. And it
Fix
wasn't
it,
his
yeah.
responsibility to be the fixer.
But y'all were together almost 30, over 30 years or almost 30 years?
We were together 30 years, married 27.
Wow.
we got
Wow.
we got other
That's
people
good,
to
though.
we got other people to get through, and I just wanted to tell my situation briefly, and it was more about peer pressure with my friends. I mean, they were, I don't know, to me, I don't care if y'all watching or not. Y'all know, and I used to say that to y'all back then. Y'all should sleep with any damn thing. Not to, I'm sorry. That's just the way that I'm thinking. My 14, 15-year-old mindset. That's what I used to be thinking. Like, oh. So when I like 16, 17, to me, I was a late bloomer. as far as with my friends, yeah, and I know my mother listening. Yeah, when y'all used to go down South Alabama and y'all left us up at um left us in Niagara Falls. Well,
Check.
you know, we had girls come through. At one time we had and this girl used to like me. Um, I never really paid her much attention. Then one of the day, you know, one of the times I think we was all at a party and we had walked back, and like I said, my grandmother, my mother, my aunts, they all had went to the family reunion in Alabama. But at that time, I used to go to Alabama on a regular basis, like every summer. Then once I started getting older, I said, "The hell, I keep going down to these dirt roads for and all that. I don't want to go there no more." So I don't want to go there no more. So it's fine, whatever. We stayed with one of my aunts who didn't want to go. But my aunt, she used to hang out, you know, party a little bit. So we had these girls come by my grandmother's house. And
No.
me and her went back to the back room. And things happened, and I didn't feel right doing it because that's not how I wanted it to happen. I wanted it to be with somebody I was going with, that I was in love with, and it was passionate. That was just something to kind of shut my friends up so they wouldn't say I was afraid of it, because that's what I was always told. I was afraid of it. So, you know, we got into it. Of course, it didn't last that long or whatever. But all I remember them saying, "Oh, they back there," and that was in the phrase was, and Sean and she were like, "What the hell that mean?" That was when the phrase was out, knocking boots. And it's like, "Oh, they back
I'm
there
just on
knocking
this show.
boots."
They just talking. I'm about to get off in a minute.
They
What's
knocking
going
boots.
on?
Wait, she just talking, don't even realize it.
She probably thinks
I'm sorry. I thought I was muted. I don't know how that even. I'm about to get off though. Like I said, I know I don't want to interrupt. My apologies.
Well, I don't know. That was awkward.
I'm sorry. You heard me talking. My phone. Somebody called my phone, so I'm on the phone, and so it wasn't towards you. My apologies.
Any old ways.
I was gonna say I'll chime in. I was under the age of 17, and in order to protect.
I ain't finished.
Oh.
So I was about to finish up. So basically, that was pretty much it. I mean, it was one of those things of peer pressure, and I know sometimes that happens. That is peer pressure. You end up getting with somebody that you really don't, and you kind of ashamed to kind of speak on that experience, because that it wasn't about a notch under my belt for me. I wanted it to be special, and that wasn't special. That was just okay. We drank a couple 40 ounces, feeling good, and handled it. And again, and like I said, I know my mother be watching. Don't ask. Don't ask. Don't text me. Don't ask. Don't ask, because I ain't telling. So, anyways, that's my story.
In order to protect parties that aren't present, I will say this: I was under the age of 17, and the individual was a year younger than me. A lot of things I learned by trial and error. Dealing with different individuals. You know, whether it was at my house or some other person's house, and there was never. I mean, some of the things that I learned to do as a young man, you know, to check myself for testicular cancer, I learned at the community center. Condom use, I learned at various places. High school, I learned about a lot of things related to the female cycle, male cycle, and things of that nature. So I learned from a variety of places. It was never just one place. So actually, when I did, just like David said, the peer pressure for me came from people that were much older than I am. When I say much older, I'm talking old enough to be my father pressure. So, you know,
grown ass people.
Yeah. So it was that type of pressure that led me to actually engage in the activity when I probably would have waited till I was much older.
All right. Who's next?
I was, because I said I'm leaving soon. So I just wanted to share that's touchy. Same thing with me. My first experience was taken from me. So I didn't have that luxury of making that decision for myself. So in that, and I want to share this because that's what I strive, and I have always said on this show anytime I spoke about anything, and that is for the most part, I say we don't know what people history, the things that they have gone through, the things that they have experienced to bring them to who they are today. And when when we allow ourselves to be open and transparent and honest, um, as Anetta had said earlier, just be honest because all you're doing is lying to yourself and others. Um, is that you have to just realize that you get to a point in life, and based on what you've gone through, it defines what direction you go into now, in the present, and in the future. Because of that taking place in my life, the majority of my life, I've always tried to seek love from men. And and some of you guys know my story. I've shared some intimate things with some of y'all. And I have always tried to find love, and I always tried to find security in men where I wanted them to hopefully fulfill that void. And also I became like almost nymphomaniac because like at a younger age, I always wanted to have sex because that desire was always there based on that spirit that was over me. So I had to get free from that. I had to get free from being under a man and thinking I needed to be attached to a man. And I don't care. And this is my testimony, Annetta. I don't need a man right now. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I can say that right now, but I promise you, I couldn't say that months ago. I could not, but I'm saying it, and I'm going to be able to say. I know women that say it because it's their truth. It's my truth, because I always needed one. I always wanted one. I always wanted to make sure I was in a relationship. Now, man, I don't want a relationship. I like companionship. I like to have conversations with guys. I like to have fun and go out. But that conversation, I can do that with my girlfriends. I can do it with my kids. I can do that because I've been doing it.
Well, it's a difference in needing and desiring. Okay.
Mhm.
Is
So
that
I just want
I
to
pay
make
my
sure that's
bills.
clear because,
So
I
can I,
don't need a man because I don't need him for certain things. But every woman desires to have companionship. And if you don't desire to have a companionship, then you must be at Alan Core or Thomas Edwards Funeral Home already prepared to be in the.
so as you had said earlier, when you said, when women say I don't need a man, I don't, because I pay my bills by his grace. If any man is God himself that helped me pay my bills and take care of my family. And I have such a peace that surpasses all understanding. I love coming home and with my quiet. I love that I don't have to answer to nobody. I love the fact that I ain't got to worry about cooking for nobody but me and my kids. I'm loving that. I'm being honest with you, and I'm just
So
keeping
let
it
me let me
100.
ask
Let
you a
me
question.
finish. Can I finish? I
Hold
didn't
up.
interrupt none of y'all, so I don't know
I was
why when I get up here, y'all want to interrupt
now
me.
you know damn
Okay,
well if I interrupt, it's gonna be short and brief, whatever. So don't even
whatever. You already
yeah.
cut me off earlier. Okay, go ahead. Do it again.
So you said you enjoy cooking for yourself and your kids. So what the hell would be the difference if you're throwing in some extra portion for the man?
That's not a problem.
Yes,
I didn't say that was a problem. I'm just saying I'm enjoying where I am because all
Yeah.
these years I always felt like I needed to have something there. But I do I say when she just asked the question, what's the difference from needing and desiring? I said that before you said that. I said I like to have that companionship of conversation, hanging out, doing things. Me and Will used to go to breakfast together. Me and Will would hang out and have fun and enjoy each other's company as friends. I loved that. I didn't need nothing else
Okay,
because
so that's
I
that's
was
the that's
good
the
where I
piece.
was.
Okay,
Huh?
so I don't want to interrupt you
but
because
that's still
that's
a
the piece I'm
desire.
talking. But that's the piece what I'm
Did
talking
not
about.
need.
There is this is
Right.
why men get upset with us. It's the wording.
But
Okay.
they could be
Now
upset with
I
me.
may have
I'm
no
okay
let me
with
say
that.
let me say this.
Jesus Christ.
I'm gonna say we all know on here that all of us on as women, we can make our own money. We don't need men to do that for us. I get it. But the desire is there because everyone desires to be connected to someone, to have some type of companionship. And I get the peace of mind, getting to the place of your wholeness, getting to the place where you won't have a dependency need versus having the desire to have someone to laugh with, go to lunch with, go to dinner with. We all desire to have that. Okay.
But
and no one wants to be alone or not have that. And I understand that. Now, if you told me that and then you said, I'm not going to breakfast with a Will or anybody and not dating absolutely nobody, then I would have to respect or frame you in. But if you're saying this and you still have an open door for having a companionship or relationship with a man, then there is still a desire there.
No, that's where I think that's the difference, that I can have friendships with men and women. I was the only child.
Because they're fulfilling a void.
But
honey.
still,
They're
it's a
fulfilling
different.
I can
your
have
relationship with a man and a woman
can
is
answer
two
that.
different things.
It
No,
is.
this is where, in my mind, I can only speak for Lakia. I have male friends and I have female friends, but but I also have myself, that I go to the movies by myself. I go to dinner by myself. I go hang out by myself. I go to the spa by myself. I don't need. And then also I have my girlfriends. I have my kids. And if I have a guy friend and want to hang out, we hang out. It's a friendship. Sexually, I'm not trying to. I don't want to go there.
Right,
and
I definitely understand that. I agree, but two different.
I agree with you. And
my male
friends,
my male friends and my female friends serve a completely different purpose, and it's not sexual. It has no sex. There is no sexual connotation there. I know about two male friends. If I'm completely naked in front of me, they can be like, and they not gay or nothing. I'm like, girl, what's wrong with you? Like you.
I don't know about that one.
No, I know.
I can't say that with my male friends. I think if I got naked, they're gonna get naked with me. Sorry.
I don't know about that one.
What I am gonna say,
most of your friends, they may want to sleep with you. They just don't say it.
They just for the most part, but. I just say that I'm not trying to take up time. I'm not lying to nobody, but
they serve different purposes.
But I don't. Would I hang out with a male friend just like I hang out with a female friend? Yes, I do, and have a great time, laugh, and be myself. I'm myself around everybody, and the people that hang around me, they know this. I'm myself. If you're male, female, bishop, CEO. Wherever you are in life, that's where I operate in all those levels. I'm me. And I had to get to that place because what I went through in my life as abused multiple times, I was scared to be that. But I don't need to be scared no more. I have peace in who I am in this life, and then what I do and my intentions towards people, and I'm not perfect. But people know my intents are always, for the most part, in a good space. So what I'm saying is that no, I don't, and I'm okay with saying that. And if he don't come, I'm okay with dying alone. And that's just my truth.
If I may, Annetta, correct me if I'm wrong. What you're saying is, yes, male and female friends serve a different capacity. And in order for a woman to balance out her nature, she needs that masculine presence in her life. Whether or not you're sexually active is immaterial to the balance that he can provide. And correct me if I'm wrong on that. Is that what you're saying?
That's for both male and female.
Yes, absolutely. Because I know I have female friends that I don't have an interest in, but from time to time, I want to plug in with them because it helps me make
to them per se.
Say it again.
I said you need to talk to them. Like there's
no. I want.
Where y'all finding these people?
I want to because I need that balance.
Where the hell are y'all finding these people at?
Because say that again,
every man that claim they want to be my friend always
Want to plow you.
they're sexually attracted to me,
And
and I don't know
that's
if
very
it's
true.
I don't
That's
know if
very
it's
true.
and it could
That's
be
true,
because
though.
the sexual energy that I carry and the feminine energy that I carry, and sometimes
Yeah.
I try to not put that off so much because I know it's strong. But I don't have male friends that would not if they gonna go, if I'm gonna go, they gonna go. There's not
The
one
reason,
male
And that's
friend.
true. And I have male friends
I
like
know
that
that's
too.
right.
the
I put
reason,
people in categories, and you have to
Mhm.
put people in categories, and you got to be able to put. Shut up, David. You got to be able to put.
I ain't said nothing. I'm just laughing.
You got to put people like I have a really close friend. I'm gonna give this example. Him and I, when we first met, we was like, oh yeah, we gonna click. Yeah, he fine. He got it going on. On paper, he look great. He wonderful. On paper, I'm good. Da da da. And we started talking. The more and more we were talking, the more and more we were talking, the more and more we talked, we were getting closer and closer together. And then we started liking the time that we were spending, the communication and all of that. So when we wanted to go there, we both stood there like, I don't want to lose my friend. Because I like the fact that I could call you and I can download everything I'm going through, work, home, whatever, family. I don't want to lose the dynamic of our relationship. We both agreed of not losing that dynamic of the relationship. Now, are we cool now? Yes. Do we say flirty stuff to each other? Yes. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that we don't, but at the end of the day, I had to, and I'm not saying when I see him, I'll be like, oh, he look good. You know what I'm saying?
If you still tingling and he percolating, like,
but what's he saying? And I can attest to that. What he's saying is there's a MAG, a mutual or MA, a mutual agreement that the two have come to that they don't want to cross for whatever reason. That
once you cross that line, then that's when
it changes the dynamic. Because there's females. I'll tell you now.
Do I know if it'll ever change? Yep. Do I know, will we ever cross it? I don't know. I'm not going to sit here and say we will never cross the line or whatever. I would never say never. However, we make a conscious effort
never say
to
never.
our friendship first. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
We make a conscious effort. But it is, if you get to, and I was at that point when I got divorced, I was like, you know what? I just need to download. I don't really know what men are looking for, what they're expecting. I really just need to get my piece together, get my mind together, because I don't want to be a broken fragment for a man, because it's not his responsibility to try to put the pieces together. So I feel where Lakita is talking about. But even when going through that process, when I was going through that headache, I still wanted to like, yo, can I lay my head on your shoulder? Can I lay on your chest? I'm not going to sit here and act like, you know. I'm not going to act like
male friends. I have male friends. I really have male friends.
You in a different generation.
Maybe
whatever.
And I can understand what they're saying, because there are females that I converse with that I wouldn't give the time of day to.
Are you attracted to them, Herb?
No.
Are they attractive females though?
Yeah,
but what I'm saying is this: it doesn't matter whether they're attractive.
It does.
I'm attractive. There's a line of demarcation that I personally am not going to cross, because I don't want to change the dynamics of the relationship. As odd as it may seem, there's women that I dated that I said, you know what? I'm going to treat this one a little different in hopes that this relationship doesn't work out. And my boy will tell you.
Maybe
my boy will tell you.
Friend zone, then they don't have no other choice. A friend is the only capacity that they can receive me in. Maybe they don't have any other choice. I don't know, but I do have male friends. I have male friends.
I do too.
Well, the thing about that is, it's not necessarily the capacity that a woman puts them in or a man puts them in. It's the capacity to which they're willing to serve in.
I have a male friend from Newtown High School.
Hold on. If he doesn't want to be your friend, you can't compel him to be your friend.
See,
yeah, if he doesn't agree to be in that position, it's going to be an issue.
Correct. And this is what
it has to be something that you're both agreeing to be in. And I had a friend like that. He was like, I don't need no friends. I got my
bingo.
Friends. I'm trying to smash you. And I was like, oh, well, if that's what you're trying to do, you should have said that out the gate, because that's not gonna happen. But
Yeah.
again,
And this,
you have to let people know people. And the thing is, I said it, and Master Barber said it a few weeks ago. He said, you gotta let people know.
I'm gonna get it.
Okay, Master. Okay. Yeah,
and this is
Master.
and this is not a new term, but they call those type of
I
men.
lost my train of thought. What was I saying?
This is the type of man that they'll call a beta male orbiter. He'll hang around in that orbit in hopes of one day he'll actually get promoted.
So you talking about 15 years?
Man,
One day?
forget all
15
that.
years.
Hey, I'm telling you now,
I have
some
friends in high school.
some men will play that role. I'm not
Not no
putting a
15 years.
timestamp
They
on it.
won't.
Some men will play that role. I'm telling you now, you don't have to believe me. All you have to do is look at a lot of men who hang around a certain woman for that long in hopes that he will one day be able to
15
get
years.
into her. Like I said, you do not have to believe me. I'm telling you.
Listen. If he don't have a woman over these years and he always available for you,
no, but we both
more than likely
have had relationships, have not had relationships. He's been at my house with my kid's father. Like I don't know.
I'm looking at it like this.
I had a friend like that in college that she and we're still good friends today. And I've stayed at her house, slept at her house many a times and everything. And now if she was to offer it, would I say, hell yeah. But because we don't cross that barrier, because we are such good friends. And I'm her son, I'm her youngest son's godfather and all that stuff. But we are really tight. And like I said, I'll go and visit her and stay at her house for days. We hang out, laugh, joke, flirt, but we know not to cross that line, because it would ruin a great friendship. And like I said, we were friends since college, and I was in college a long time ago. So we've been friends. No, see,
30 years ago.
I just thought about it. I was in college. I graduated in 1985.
You graduated when in 1985?
I graduated college in 1985, and we've been friends that long. And we've gone on trips. We've gone to California.
My parents wasn't even in. Wait, God,
still trying to figure that out.
30 years, girl.
That's right. I know I look good for my age, baby.
Listen.
But the point is, what he's saying is,
go ahead, Sharon. Go ahead.
If she go, he gonna go. So your friend of 15 years, if you get him in the corner and say, "Yo, he gonna go," you say he's just a friend. But if you say, "Hey, let's do this," he's gonna say, "Okay, let's do it." He's not gonna turn you down.
He's gonna beat you to the room. He's gonna beat you to the room.
First thing we have to realize, he's a man. We
are women.
This is the thing. I always say this about the church. We don't never want to talk about sex. Y'all do know that's how y'all got here.
Yeah.
Y'all do know that. Y'all do know that people have sexual desires. Okay, because that's the natural thing of us. That's our being.
Thing, right?
So my thing is, when you, and this the medical aspect, when you have sex and you're releasing certain things out of your body. Okay, that's just the medical thing. Okay. But people want to sit here and act like they don't have desires. Yes, that's why people abstain and people, want to go and say, I'm not doing anything. I'm not going to do that. Yeah, they do. I went through that path in life. You know what I'm saying? But the thing is, we got to be honest with ourselves and say, okay, like Lakia, she's like, this is the time that I'm working on me. I'm not doing this. This is my plan and my path in life. I get it. Each one of us, I think, have went through that process. I said the other day, I said, wow, men are really learning to, like, it was a thing for women to abstain. Men are like, wait a minute, if you gonna interrupt my peace, I'll take care of myself then.
Listen, that whole thought process only works as good as the situation you're going through. If you have a rough ass day, one of your worst days in your life, and you need to lean on somebody's shoulder or whatever the case is, then all that shit y'all talking could go out the window. It could go out the window at that particular time.
I agree with that.
Yeah, there's no cookie cutter approach in any of this stuff, whatever.
Right.
Yeah, and another
given
thing
Sunday,
about that is,
any given
another thing about
Sunday,
it,
it can go down.
and when
But see,
people
this is
do the sustaining thing, but that's
For
why
sure.
they come up with all of these acronyms and sneaky links and side pieces and stuff like that, because people are fulfilling those desires, but they don't want to be bothered. They don't want their peace bothered. So they think that they can involve themselves sexually with someone, not catch feelings, and be able to be in peace,
keep
be in
going.
their own
Soul ties are
situation
real.
and keep going.
So that's not
But
gonna work.
that's right. Soul ties are real. Somebody's gonna catch feelings eventually.
Oh, yeah.
And
that's
so that's
go ahead. I'm sorry.
I just found out what sneaky link meant yesterday. So that a teacher, one of our teacher friends told me, because she said she found out from some of her students what sneaky link was, and she told me what it was. Just I kept hearing the term, and she finally told me what it was. Just I'm like, get the hell, okay.
I found out last week.
I don't know.
Somebody
What
you get
is
up
that?
with,
I found out
somebody
yesterday.
you get up with, you just have sex with, and
Yep.
no one knows,
And keep
no
it
one will
moving.
ever know, and you keep it moving.
Yep.
There's no
So if
relationship,
no
nothing.
one knows and no one will ever know, why does it have to have a label?
Because it's the sneaky link.
People love
Because that's
giving
what it's
labels.
called. People love labels.
I'll put it to you like this.
At this time, we're so connected.
People love labels.
We are so connected that our friends, our people, they know where we are. They know where we're doing most of the day. And a lot of times you have to have a reason or aware for your location or where you are at a certain point. So I think sneaky link is a way to get rid of that. Like, where were you, or why you wasn't? Blah 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 blah. Oh, girl, I was with my sneaky link. I don't have to tell you who, but you know I was with somebody, and you know my time was accounted for, so you don't have to call the police and be scared.
Okay, maybe it's just me. I don't understand. Go ahead, Willie.
This issue I have with this sneaky link thing is I saw a video. Like I said, that's what I found out yesterday. But I saw this video where, and it made me wonder if you're doing this sneaky link, but this woman, she had her baby, and she was looking at her baby and looking at her husband and saying, my baby looked like my sneaky link. I think I'm in trouble. And I'm like, what the heck is a sneaky link?
Well,
and then that's when my friend told me. So my thing is, if you're doing this sneaking around, why are you sneaking around and having unprotected sex? That's what really gets me about this.
That is mismanagement.
You have an unprotected sex. Nobody's using any protection, any contraceptives, but you're sneaking around. You can give your partner. You're gonna come back and give your partner something. Something's going. You know what I mean? Something's going to go wrong. If you sneaking, you should be making sure that you cover up all signs to make sure that it stays a secret. But she was in this video. And that's what I said.
I don't know who said that was sneaky linking. Sneaky linking is when you're single and you have just somebody that you just have sex with. There's no relationship.
Yeah, that's
there's no commitment.
This woman, she was in the video holding up her baby, and she was looking at her baby and looking at the father, her husband, and the baby did not look like the husband either. And she said, "Oh my God, I think I'm in trouble because my baby looked like my sneaky link." And I was like, "What the heck is a sneaky link?" And that's when the lady told me what it was.
That's not sneaky linking. That's cheating.
Right, exactly. But that's when I found out what sneaky link was. But I just was like, okay, if you're supposed to be sneaking,
well, that was the wrong
definition. Just call them
protecting yourself.
Why don't you just call them slinky?
Even if you're cheating, you still should be covering and protecting yourself and your husband or your girlfriend or whoever you coming back to at the end of the day. And that's what baffles me about these relationships with people going out and they cheating and sleeping around with each other, and you bringing back who knows what to that other person who you're supposed to be in this committed relationship with. So I mean, it just really baffles me that people don't use protection, and then they say it was an accident. How was it an accident? I've never understood when people first thing they want to yell it was an accident. It was an accident. You got caught because you weren't trying to get caught. But other than that, everything you did was intentional.
Yeah, sex is not an accident because there's a step process to
right.
Never.
All right, we got to get Anita in here. Her sound is back. So Anita, you heard a lot. What you got?
And she got her glasses on.
Mm-hmm.
What you got for? What you got for a sneaky link?
I don't know why. I sneaky link. I never heard of that. I don't even know why it's a label. Like, I would never even tell my best friend if I have like a secret rendezvous with a guy and I don't want it's just me and him gotta know. Like, why do I have to label it? Like, why do I have to call it something if just me and him are the only ones knowing? I don't know. That's weird. So anyway, what else are we talking about? Oh, I have
trying to change those subjects.
Talking about what?
Come here trying to change subjects. You just got back on the show. Don't come here trying to change those subjects.
Don't interrupt me. Did I interrupt you? No.
Yeah.
Okay then.
Y'all have a lot of tension on this panel.
But the sneaky link tough.
I could be naked with and they wouldn't touch me.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I feel. But I think we might be wrong. Y'all made some
Y'all wrong.
So
I'm gonna be honest with you. Y'all are
I've done it.
Yeah, I'm with Sharon. I'm
about to say. Let me see.
No,
wait a minute. Hold on.
I'll tell you why. Because the chemistry was not there.
I mean, let me tell you, girl. No, if you would have went for him, he would have. All you had to do is arouse that guy. He would have hit. Girl, no.
Hold up.
He did it out of.
This Anita time to shine.
Okay, but let me just say,
let me just say this.
He did it
because I didn't interrupt anybody else.
Let Anita talk.
I do have guy friends that I have been drunk with, got naked in the bed, and they didn't try anything because we don't have.
Why you get naked?
Huh?
Why you get
it's
naked?
Just one of those things. Like I was drunk.
And they didn't want to take advantage of it.
They wasn't trying to catch a charge, so that don't count.
Right.
I'm okay. Well, when I was sober,
that's not a good thing to tell. You got naked and they didn't want it.
I didn't hear that comment because I don't want to be interrupted. But I can get dressed and undressed and doesn't get turned on. We don't have that kind of relationship. You can be fine all day long, but if I don't, it doesn't necessarily mean I have that chemistry for you.
But Anita, how do you know he's not turned on?
We talk about it.
I've never had that conversation.
He wasn't turned on.
We don't. I mean, when I get done up, I'm an attractive female. I'm attractive anyway. But anyway, when I go to the club or the bar and I'm dressed, there's some guys that are cute. I'm just not necessarily attracted to them. They're cute. I'm just not feeling them in that capacity. So I have guy friends that are the same way. Like, you're cute and all, but I'm just not feeling you in that capacity. And the same thing, vice versa. We just don't have it like that. There's no romantic.
But y'all come back to the apartment and take it.
I get what you're saying.
Because I ain't never had.
I get what you're saying, but I think me and Sharon said I don't know absolutely any of my male friends that if I didn't open the door of opportunity, they would not walk in.
We're not. I guess because we're not opening the door.
I do have guy friends that wouldn't do that.
My best
maybe because we're not opening the door.
Over 40 years, and I assure you, as soon as he
knows
that
the door was open.
As soon as he know I'm talking to another guy, I can tell the jealousy. He'd be like, "Oh,
got attitude."
He automatically got an attitude, but I know where.
Why you bypass him?
I
Oh,
know
I don't
that he like.
discourage.
I mean, I have had guy friends like that. I have had guy friends like
and
that.
that's why it's impossible to say, oh, they have remotely no interest. And I would never get undressed in front of him because I already know he's gonna be like, what we doing? You know what I'm saying?
Thank you. Exactly.
They're gonna be
Exactly.
aroused as soon as you start taking clothes
too.
off.
Like I wouldn't necessarily
start
get
taking
dressed and
clothes off for
undressed.
this.
I wouldn't even take a shower while he's there. But
Right,
I
you
do
wouldn't
have,
because you know he would be turned on.
right. But I do have guy friends that are straight that would never approach me like that, even if I was getting undressed and dressed like that, because we just not feeling each other like that. But as far as being single and abstinent and stuff, I think it is a time in your life like that it is peaceful just to be in your own space and not have to worry about entertaining anybody else. Like if you come over, I don't have to like put that energy into it. And it's just peaceful. I come home to my 2 dogs and I put my energy into my 2 dogs. I don't have to cook if I don't want to. I can microwave if I want to. I can eat potato chips for dinner if I want to.
So you're saying you can't do that if you have a partner?
Well, what I'm saying is at this time in my life, it's more comfortable for me to be by myself because I'm doing me right now. I don't feel like I have to have a companion. I don't feel like, I don't feel like I have to look for it. I'm not at that stage of my life. I'm at peace. Like I like being single right now, and I like not dating right now, not having sexual desires for anybody. Like I'm good.
So you don't date at all?
Me too. I don't date either.
I mean, for a while, no, because I wasn't.
Because of the pandemic?
No, it just wasn't in my mind to want to date. I didn't have a desire. I wasn't trying to find it. I wasn't trying to, go places to meet people, go to the bar and talk to guys and be flirty. I just had no desire. Like I just want, and in my opinion, there's nothing wrong with a woman being single and not having any companionship in that capacity.
That's what I said 2 weeks ago on the show.
Huh?
I said the same thing about 2 weeks ago on the show. The same thing. I'm not trying to meet anybody right now. I'm just basically
it's comfortable. It's comfortable being in your own space and your own. If I don't want to take a shower because you're coming over, I don't feel like taking a shower. I'll be in my pajamas all day and watch cartoons. Like whatever.
Wait, somebody asked a question about the ages of these women on the panel. Are they in the ages that men would even take them serious, if you don't mind? Okay, I think we're all 30 plus. We've all been, and I've been engaged twice. People have been in marriages. So, I mean, men have taken us seriously. Whoever Snuggles is asking that question.
I can't take
There it goes.
Questions on here sometimes.
I can't take you serious with the name Snuggles.
Right.
Hold on.
Those.
He was asking a question so he understands the mindset of the people speaking. He wasn't doing it to be derogatory.
So what? Take serious in what capacity?
Hold on. And the question was already answered.
Well, I can say this. You're welcome. From my experience, even when you're single and chilling and in peace, I still want male company. Just Sharon.
I don't.
Oh.
I still want male company every now and again. I want to entertain a man. So it's different for each individual, I guess. Because like you can still be single and enjoy your peace. There's days when I'm just here. It's just me and my youngest. My oldest is in Florida. My youngest, he's in school. And some days I'm just like, oh, thank God, it's like no one here. But then there's days it's like, oh, I need some guy presence. Like I need a dude.
And you can feel that in a relationship.
But you feel like that. Yeah, you could do it in a relationship. You could do it while you're single. I think it's just where you, like you said, Anita, where you are in life. If you don't feel like dealing with someone at the time, you don't. But I don't think you have to go out and find and entertain, because I can go to the grocery store and I can pick up, you know what I mean? I can pick up somebody. So you don't even have to be going out to anywhere. That's why
I just use that as an example. I'm not going anywhere, trying to look like if a guy was to flirt with me like at Wegmans in the produce department, I probably wouldn't even like acknowledge it. I'm just like, oh yeah, the organic lettuce is over there. The eggplant is over there. The small one. It's like I'd be totally, because I'm there minding my own business, trying to do what I got to do and get out of there.
Master Barber, we about to swing it to you.
Come on, Master B.
We gonna swing it to you, man. You already said what you gonna do.
Tear up.
Well, piggybacking off of what Anita said, though, but how did you know that these dudes wasn't attracted to you, though?
I mean, like they would tell me, I mean, we have conversation. Yeah, you're attractive. Like I could say, yeah, you're attractive. I just don't like you in that capacity. Like you don't turn me on sexually.
Well, being around a man long enough, if you are naked, like, you know what I'm saying, certain things will happen, though, you know what I mean, will arouse, I'm just telling you, unknowingly, something will rise up, though.
I don't know. I mean, I've had guy friends that it just.
I like to think that my guy
there's no telling what's
in my head.
There's no telling what happens when they go home and behind closed doors either.
No.
And
if you was there naked and he's there
back
naked,
there shaking dice or something, you know what I mean?
Right. And you try to
go. You said shaking dice?
See, one of the things is some guys won't put themselves out there to take that.
Correct. Yeah.
So they're like, I'm not gonna put it out there. But if she does something that kind of gives me that way, like, okay, I could say something now. Then they'll say something, whatever. Yeah, they open the door, but they're not gonna say something out of respect. So for you little youngest in charge, they probably have not said any thing, whatever, because they're waiting for the opportunity to open. If you open that door, you'll be like, damn, they was right on the panel. They ain't just total idiots on the panel. They were right. They were right.
Because I want to say this. If y'all there naked and you put your mouth on it, he gonna go.
Ooh.
So
Shane Mosley.
But what I'm
gonna be dealing with an eruptive volcano.
What I'm saying is, he may not. You guys can lay there without doing anything out of respect. But if you start pleasuring him, he's not going to turn you down.
Right. Well, that's different. I wouldn't do that.
Yeah, I definitely.
We get that. We're just saying that the man will do
it. Forget that.
No, I said we get that she's not like that she wouldn't do that. But
no,
if the guy is there,
I got you.
What?
3 minutes.
What?
Okay.
Y'all lying.
You say you lying.
Yeah, because somebody keep telling me, I be getting texts through the show, and they say, this ain't the counselor's corner, this is the liar's corner.
What is everybody lying about?
So let me put it to you like this. Let me put it to you like this. And Annetta said this earlier, I believe Annetta said this earlier. You can lie to everybody else, but you can't lie to yourself.
Right.
And simply put, what that means is we have a public face and a public persona that we want to have, that we can take off when it suits us and do what we want to. And so long as nobody else knows, we're okay. But the moment that leaks out, we got to start putting out fires. And some people aren't good at putting out fires. This is why they keep their freak under wraps. Me personally, I'm not keeping my freak under wraps. But what I am going to tell you, it ain't none of your motherfucking business. Beat it.
Jesus.
Oh, snap.
I'm gonna tell you flat out. I do some things, and I do some things with some people. Me and those peoples, we have an understanding that what we do don't go beyond these four walls. Right. Period.
Well, it is interesting though for you to they say it's the liar's corner, but if you're being transparent, you're being transparent. Some people I agree that they are not always being transparent and being open and being honest about things that they've done or will do. And play like, oh no, not me. I'll never. I'm just saying, yeah, I've seen that because I know some people personally, and I'm like, okay, because I know me just like I know you, but okay. So that's all I say about it. And this is an open forum. Everybody, if you on here telling your business, everybody can see this. So you got to be able to answer to it in any way, shape, or form if you feel like you have to answer to it. But we're grown. You shouldn't have to feel like you have to answer to anybody.
So some people.
But that's part of the problem, and is what Shaughnessy was saying earlier. I don't have anybody checking on me, and if they felt the need to, I'm going to ask them, why do you think you need to check on me? I'm an adult. Hold on. I'm not blaming you. I'm just using what you said as an example about the sneaky link. If you're a consenting adult and you're not married, then you shouldn't have to explain anything to anyone at any time for any reason. Period.
At all.
Do what you want to, when you want to, how you want to, with who you want to, and be about your business.
Absolutely, and I understand that. What I was saying in that aspect is, I watch a lot of TV. My sister does too. My friends do too. I don't know if you guys have iPhone. We all have Find My on our iPhone, and we have each other on our iPhone. Do I check that every day? No. But if I call my sister 3 different times and she don't answer, I'm going to look. If her location is not updated in the past couple of minutes, I'm going to call her husband. Why? Anything could be happening. Same with my friends, same with my best friend.
Let me hold on. Let me interrupt you for one moment, just one moment, and that's a question. Why do you feel the need to be that intrusive in your sister's life?
It's not that intrusive. Anything. We are women. Anything can happen at any moment. It's not intrusive. It is something that it's technology and we use it at any again. And then also another thing too, if my sister, especially with my schedule, I live in Virginia Beach. I live hours away from my family. So let's just say, and because of the nature of my work and what I do, my sister knows on a day-to-day basis I'm at this particular hospital. And then on day 3, I'm at this other hospital, which is a trauma hospital in my area. And I didn't answer my phone 3 times. And maybe I'm working a double this day, and maybe I did not convey that to her. So she sees me at Norfolk General, and she like, why you ain't blah, 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 blah. Now I need you to talk to me because you're at a trauma hospital. You haven't answered the phone. So I'm going to need your phone. Well, your phone is at a trauma hospital. You haven't answered the phone. I need to see what's going on. So now I could text you, I'm at work. And it's like, okay, not to say she don't care, but now that I know you working, I don't care what you're doing really. And same for one of my male friends. I'm in Virginia Beach. I had called him. I think it was over the Christmas break. I called him, no answer. I called him like 2 days later, no answer. I looked at his location. It said he was at like Columbia something hospital. So I was like, oh, okay, well, maybe he's going to visit somebody, and I didn't think nothing of it. 2 days later, he was still in the hospital. So now I'm like, no, homie, you need to answer my phone call. What's up? You good?
Stop right there. And that's what I'm talking about, the intrusion.
But listen, he was in the hospital though.
I'm not saying that there wasn't. Hold on. I'm not saying that there wasn't something wrong, that there wasn't a legitimate reason. I'm just saying it's still intrusive because 30 years ago, you wouldn't have been able to do that. So would you actually drive from where you are to where he is just to verify his existence?
No, but I want to know that he's okay.
I have.
No, I know that. But what I'm saying is the technology permits people to do that. So they think they have a.
Find or locate one of my loved ones. Would I pull up? Yes, absolutely.
I'm sorry. Hold on.
I said if I
he had to give her access. He had to give her access.
Right, you have to have. Like for instance, my father has my location out of all people in the world. My father's not going to look at what I'm doing as a 30-year-old woman all day, every day. However, if my father calls me and cannot get in contact with me, and then he calls my sister, and my sister cannot get in contact with me, and she's like, yeah, no, I haven't spoke to her. And he's like, oh, yeah, no, you damn right, my father's going to look on that location. Okay, well, she was right here last
You're talking about your father as opposed to somebody you don't have a familiar link with. I'm speaking of friends, not family members.
I have
friends.
I popped up on my friends. They don't answer their phone. I'm like, I'm knocking on their door. I said, don't have
and that's what I'm talking about, the intrusion.
No, I think every single friend of mine does not have my location, but there are certain friends that does.
I think that's different than what Herb is talking about. Like, why do people need to know, like, we're sleeping together? Like, they don't need to know. Like, I don't have to make an excuse. I don't have to make an excuse. Like, me and Herb are sleeping together. Like, who cares? You know?
I'm sorry. Like, I don't know. I guess a sneaky link wouldn't work for me because please believe, if it's a sneaky link, they don't got to know who. They don't got to know what. There's people that have my location. They're gonna know where to find you if I need. What if I pop up missing in the last 3
And see, this is the what if
trying to be sneaky.
This is the what if that people operate on, and it's almost as if they're looking for a reason to be intrusive. It's like Smokey said in the movie Dead Presidents. I'm at where I at, and I be where I be. If somebody's really supposed to know what you're doing and who you're doing with, you're gonna know. That's why I said the technology today permits people to be intrusive without actually acknowledging that they're being intrusive. Because 30, 40 years ago, you couldn't do this.
I think I can exactly
what you're saying.
No, 30, 40 years ago, you didn't have the technology to do this.
Right. And I think for me, what it is it allows us to be lazy, because you are absolutely right. Way back when I first started dealing with my kid's father, he was a few years older than me. And it was just like, oh, I'm going to his house, I text license plate, I text address. Nowadays, because I know my sister had my location, my closest friend had my location, I wouldn't even do that. You know why? Because they know they're going, if they need me or if something happens, they know where I am.
Yeah.
And so I agree. Back in the day, for us to be lazy.
I agree with you, Shani. All my children, my best friend, my 2 brothers, and my friend, my male friend, they all have my location. One, because
and you don't look at your children don't look at your location on a daily basis. They're not looking at it. They're not looking at it, or they are. They are.
Oh, they're like, where you at, Ma?
You'd be like, you was on Best Street on such and such at what time? You supposed to Tops. Can you stop by? No, he looked
yeah, see, I don't look at my friend's location on the regular. I'll call one of my friends and she be like, girl, I'm in Puerto Rico. And I'll be like, oh. And she be like, you ain't know? And I'll be like, I don't look at your location like that. I don't look at it to look at it. I look at it if I need it. Especially those ones that don't want their parents to know where they are. I got 14
people on my location, and literally out of the 14, 12, I'm 100% sure look at my location frequently.
Oh yeah,
I don't have an iPhone. I have an Android, so I use Life 360. I mentioned this before a long time in the show. And my girls were in New York City this weekend together, and that just blessed me because I love that my daughters have a relationship together. But they didn't have their tracker on. I said, hold up. I would take everybody's privileges away if I don't see your location ASAP. Right. And, I need to make sure that they're in a safe space. And I did see that they were racing. One was racing one on the road, on the 3-way. So that was funny. But yeah, no, I think that's a great, just innovative thing. But the address story, just real quick, we used to just do drive-bys back in the day. When we wanted to know what somebody was up to. Like, girl, ride by his house because I think he doing something he ain't got no business doing.
I'm not getting in my bed riding past no nigga house.
That was back in the day. I ain't saying I don't do that now, but back in the day, that was that was the thing to do.
Was a whole bunch of stuff people was doing back in the day to figure it out.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the point that I was making. If you were living in the same city and the city was a smaller city, you could do that. What I'm saying is technology allows people to be intrusive without actually them acknowledging that they're being intrusive. Now, to what degree you're being intrusive is always subject for debate. But like I said before, cell phone technology became what it is. The only way you could actually track somebody and know somebody's whereabouts was actually call them at home. And you knew they were at home because they answered the phone, or you knew they were at somebody else's house because it was a landline. That's the only way you knew for sure where somebody was. Otherwise, you had no clue. This is why you'll get a lot of people that are insecure in certain situations. They'll say, send me a picture of where you are so they can verify it because they don't trust them. This is why you start to get into all this. Well, I need to have a tracker on you so I know where you are, or you need to tell me this so I know where you are. Why? If an individual, and I understand the safety aspect for women that are going out on a date with an individual that they met and they don't know. I understand that. You don't have to convince me of that. You want to put your security first and foremost, by all means. But what I'm simply saying is a lot of people will say that they're doing this for a safety reason when the odds stipulate that people aren't in that type of trouble.
I got you.
That's true.
Now I know who I don't share my location with. My boyfriend.
Wow.
I'm done. I'm not even touching it. I'm done. I'm done. Point proven. Point proven.
No, because I mean,
you don't have to. You're an adult. You don't have to explain it to me.
To be you say.
Huh?
I ain't got nothing to say.
Thank you. Let it.
You don't want to do shopping?
Yeah,
Is it the shopping?
I got some shit to y'all, man.
Shawnee got a sneaky link.
I mean,
no, I don't. The only time I do share my location with my boyfriend when I'm on the road.
Right.
Shine and see.
Beep. We see you.
I don't need nobody knowing where I am and what I'm doing.
but wait,
Right.
your sister and
I'll share my
everybody, but the man
location,
that you're sleeping with doesn't.
We see you.
share my location with my friends and family. Like if they want, if they want to set it up that way. Not saying that I don't, but I don't feel the need to explain. I think like me and her are saying, I don't feel the need to explain. Like I was at the hotel because I was sleeping with Master Barber, and that's an undercover thing. Just an example.
No, see, but no, there's no. So let me correct that. There doesn't have to be an explanation.
Barber, don't be hiding, man.
He left. He is going.
You can run, but
She went from her to the barber.
Anita said you can't hide.
You can't hide.
I'm just using that as an example. Like I don't have to know who I was with or what I was doing.
That barber chair is the mean thing.
So there doesn't have to be an explanation behind your location. It doesn't have to. It definitely doesn't have to be a location behind explanation behind your location. If my sister sees my location at the W, she gonna hit me with a "You all right?" And if I hit her with a "Yeah, I'm good," she gonna be like, she gonna give me the eyes and then be like, "Okay, good night."
Yeah, but your boyfriend ain't.
He can't have that location.
Like I said, see, we may have been born today, but it wasn't yesterday.
Okay, but didn't y'all just say single until married?
You do not have to justify what you do to us. You're only trying to justify because you don't want to feel a certain kind of way. And I get it.
No, I don't feel a certain kind of way.
If you didn't, you wouldn't be trying to defend it.
If he had an issue with it, when that temporary location sharing, it says share indefinitely, share until the end of the day, and then share to the next hour. And I always share till a certain time, because that's the time I should be home, and that's it. Like, I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Shaughnessy, we need to talk.
I'm not I don't know.
She disables her location beacon so she can't be followed when she wants to when it's convenient. I dig it.
I don't have his location, and I don't need his location either.
Ho. But he's not on here saying what he does. You are. He's not on here saying what he does.
I understand that, but he is where he is, and I am where I am. Like that's
whoa.
But only he can't verify that. I see you, but he can't verify that. I see
it
you.
need to be verification if you trust me.
Stop trying to be messy. You ain't in no relationship. Don't be trying to destroy her.
It don't have to be no verification if he trusts me.
Another. Let me pull your coattail on that. How do you know?
You check me. I don't know. I
Okay. Okay. Thank you. Stay out of grown man business.
All right, we're gonna speed it up. We're gonna move on to because I know typically we be on here to 12, and that's probably about the limit. We're gonna talk about point number 3 quickly. Don't attempt to read your partner's mind.
Right.
And a lot of people do a lot of mind reading without communication, and they come up with assumptions and stuff like that. So how does that work?
Well, that's what it is.
It don't work.
That's what it is. Assumptions. It's not mind reading. It's assumptions.
Right.
And a lot of times
don't
they're going
assume
by
it makes an ass
a
out of you
sign
and me.
or something that they previously been through in a situation, and they're looking for, or they're seeing a sign of something that was in a previous relationship, and assuming that person is doing the same thing. That's when you carry baggage into another relationship. So instead of getting over that person and whatever tragedies or situations that person took you through, you jump into another relationship, and then everything that person does is always suspect, or you're looking for signs that person is doing the same thing. Again, another broken person that hasn't healed from that previous relationship or several past relationships. And until people work on themselves, understand who they are and what makes them happy. If you could sit in a room like, and that's why I said, for me, when I was talking about I'm not looking to date or be involved with anybody, this pandemic actually has helped me a lot, because I have actually sat in this house, my house, for 2 years, basically 2 years by myself, and got to really know myself. Even though I went through some nonsense with my stalker, I call her, but other than that, that was the only person I really communicated with during that 2 years, other than my kids at the track program. But it allowed me the opportunity to get to really know who I was and what makes me happy. And if you can't be happy when you're alone by yourself, if you can't be happy with yourself, you're never going to be happy with anybody else. Because that's the key. People always hear people say, I'm looking for somebody that's going to make me happy or be happy, that kind of thing. Nobody's going to make you happy. Somebody's always going to do something that's not going to be agreeable to you. What you want to do is find somebody who can be a part of your happiness. That means they bring something to the table that you don't have, and together y'all become one in that relationship where y'all are part of each other's happiness. And then but you have to be happy with yourself first. That means you could sit in the house for a week, 2 weeks, a day, a month, or whatever, and be happy with yourself, not looking to, I got to get out this house and go be around people, because you're not happy with who you are. You're not comfortable with yourself, that you can't be by yourself for any long period of time. And I sat in this house for 2 years, and I realized I love myself. And I had lost that for a minute because of what I went through in my divorce, where I lost confidence in what I had to offer, because I thought, because of what happened in that relationship, that I wasn't enough. And then I realized I was more than enough, but that person just wasn't able to handle what I had brought to the table. So now, like I said, I'm still not ready to be in a relationship, because I meet people, and I meet people that got so much nonsense. And like I said, peace of mind is what I'm looking for. And my tolerance level is at a 1. One time and I'm done. So for me, I know I'm too hard on people, and I'm too hard on myself. So right now it's just enjoying myself and enjoying all the things that I do, and I'm starting businesses, I'm writing new books, I'm doing all the things I enjoy doing, and I'm spending time getting to know myself. So that way, when I am with someone else, I can enjoy that person because I will have them as a part of my happiness and not looking for them to make me happy or make me whole, as people say. I'm not looking for
let me
nobody can
let
make
me
me
chime
whole.
in. Let me
That's what
chime
it's
in on
about.
that. Let me chime in on that real quick. And part of it is when you have grown ass
Who
people
phone ringing?
talk about they bored. I don't see being bored. It might be something that I'd rather be doing differently, but it's a ton of shit that I could get done. And I always say to myself, it's not enough time in the day to get done. Like even today, having a day off, and next thing you know, it's like damn near 3 o'clock, and I'm like, damn, if I was sitting in my damn at school at the schoolhouse, this shit would be dragging. But now it's 3 o'clock, whatever, and I'm like, dang, this day then went by fast as hell. So, and a part of that is always having something to do, setting goals and trying to get it done, and kind of
Exactly.
mapping how you're gonna get it done. When you don't have no blueprint for that, that's when you, and I know that people like where does this tie in with the subject matter, but it does. All of this stuff is connected. Uh, but it's about having a blueprint and some goals to try to accomplish what you need to do, and then that leads to the part of projecting on your partners, because when you locked in and doing what you got to do, all that other stuff, you're like, I ain't even got time. I ain't even think about that. I ain't even worried about projecting what this person did on that person because I got my own stuff that I have to
Stuff
take
to do.
care of.
Exactly.
It ain't enough time to get it done. So that's always been my thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm done. Next person.
Another thing for me, I don't have to worry about being distracted. Like I have a goal of, finishing my degree. I don't have to worry about. I'd rather spend time with him and be distracted thinking about him than doing my paper or doing my research. Because I know that's how I am. I get distracted easy when I'm with somebody. Like I don't want to do my college work. I want to spend time with him, but not being with anybody, I don't have to think about anybody and I don't have to be distracted. So it's easier for me.
But see, I get you and I understand you. And that's when I feel like accountability and finding somebody that's compatible with you is important because in partnership, I would hope that your partner holds you accountable. Didn't you say you have a paper due? Didn't you say you had an assignment due?
But it's just a distraction in my mind that I don't want to, what I don't want to do.
Gotcha.
And I know how I am. I get distracted. So I'd rather put all my focus into my best work. And when I'm done achieving my goal and what I got to do for myself, then if he's still around, okay, good.
So
if not, okay, moving right along.
So Anita, basically you're saying if you got something to do, he can't be at the house with you when you have something to do.
Like what?
Like if you got a paper to write and he's in the room just watching football or whatever the case is that a distraction for you?
Yeah.
Is it?
Usually I'm not with somebody when I'm in college, when I'm doing my college work. I'm usually not in a relationship or dating anybody. If I am, that person had come into my life usually when I take a break from that stuff, and then he's incorporated in my schedule as I go back and get my coursework. That's a different thing. But while I'm already in my coursework and I have a goal, I don't want to be distracted by, sometimes not everybody gets along 100% of the time. I don't want to be stressed out because he said he was coming over to take out the garbage and he totally
coming over
died.
to take out the garbage. The fuck? Like for real. Like,
hey, he knows if he knows I don't like taking out garbage and he's like, you got a man like me in your life now, I'll come over and take out your garbage to the curb. Okay. If you don't worry about it. I got it. I'll figure it out.
I'm gonna give you a different perspective, Anita. You stressed out and you type in the paper and he know you stressed and he just give you a nice little tap on the neck or whatever the case is.
And it's gonna be all over with. we're going to the bathroom, the bedroom,
okay. I was just seeing where you was at on that.
From the chandeliers, all that stuff.
I was just
but that's what you're saying is a valid point, Anita, because I know as a woman, when I'm in a relationship, I want to give him my all. I want to be all in and I want to be present. So in that present, it's hard for me to balance what I need to do for me. I kind of converted to what he wanted me to be, what I thought he wanted me to be, and what I thought where he wanted me to be. Like I always felt like he wanted to be, or anybody it was I was dating, to be up under them at times. And I kind of lose myself. So it was hard for me to find that balance.
Yeah, I just
and that's so true. And that's why and even with having kids still home, I would find myself trying to figure out how to be with them and be with my kids and be, do my work and just all over the place. And it's like, it was never still enough. It was never still good enough.
I think why that might work out for me is because me and my partner are kind of equally busy. So we do have opposite. And when I say opposites, we have opposite schedules for the most part. So right now, I'm on with you guys because he's at work. And he's going to be at work while I'm asleep too. So in the morning, like we we carve out time where we get to spend time together. And even incorporating our kids with that too. So like this past weekend, we went skating. We didn't go skating. We sat down and we ate. The kids ate before us. They ate before we got there. While the kids were skating, we ate and I had wine. He had beer. We just had dinner at the skating rink while the kids were there. When I'm here, the All-Star game was on. I was doing homework last night. I had made dinner. I came, did my homework. He cleaned up the kitchen. He was downstairs doing his thing. I was up here doing my thing. He was like, "You finished?" "Yeah, I'm finished." All right. That's when he came upstairs. Other than that, I mean, he's still here, present, but
make it work.
Right. Yeah, but it's hard for some people, and I can understand where the two ladies are coming from. It's hard for them to find that balance. Like you have to figure it out. And everybody doesn't figure it out right away. Everybody doesn't get it right the first time. So that's why you get chances and you try again. I mean, because Shani, I understand what you were saying. I had the same situation. I had my kids and my ex-fiance, and I was in school. I still graduated. He supported, but not everybody has that. So and sometimes
when I was younger, when I was in the army, I had a part-time job. I took some college classes and I had a boyfriend, a serious relationship. And that we were busy. We had army stuff. We had soldiers. We were busy together. And so now that I'm older, like if I had a job and a boyfriend, that's doable. But through trial and error, I know what I can and can't.
I got you.
Right. Now that I'm older.
I think I might have started my life like that. I get what you're saying. I think I started my life like that because when me and my kid's father were together, we didn't want to do daycare. So I worked at night. He had his own barbershop, so he had no choice but to work during the day. So I think I've started my adult relationship life kind of making it work through scheduling. So I definitely understand what you're saying.
Yeah, at the age I am now, I can't concentrate and have a relationship, a new relationship, because I'm trying to get to know
I
him.
get what you're saying.
I'm trying to concentrate and get to know what I got to know for school, do papers, do research. I can't mentally, I can't do it. Some people can at my age. For me personally, I just can't. And I know I can't, so I don't even try, because I'm an A student and I want to maintain.
Gotcha.
I don't want to be distracted.
What do you go to school for, Anita?
Drug and alcohol counseling and psychology.
Okay. Nice.
Yeah. But
nice.
I already have like some minors and another thing, and I just like the Army pays for it, so I'm not going to waste that education.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
that's
opportunity.
Even better. That's even better when somebody else paying for it.
Yeah, I don't have any.
A lot of veterans don't take advantage of the GI Bill, and that's unfortunate.
Mm-hmm.
I know I'm trying to get adopted by one right now.
Yeah, I have an associate's degree, minor in culinary arts. I have
nice
4-year degree, and I have a couple minors like women's studies, social science, sociology. Like my mind gets bored after the Army, so I constantly have to
absolutely,
keep it going.
There's programs out, and that's what's good, that there's programs out there. I always hear people, I always hear people talk about they hate their job or whatever the case. And there's programs out there where they will give you money to help you go back and get retrained or get into a vocational trade. And when I was coming up, like, I have a degree in mental health from the University of Buffalo. I worked in mental health for 10 years. And I did that, but I also found these programs where I had one program paid for me to go to become a weatherization inspector. One paid for me to go get asbestos inspections. One paid for me to go, all these different programs, how to be an electrician and carpenter. And what I did was I took all those and started businesses.
Yep.
You was doing them all. Exactly. So, I mean, it's like I have the opportunity. So now instead of one job, I can work wherever I want to work. I can do whatever I want to do. And I get calls all the time for different service things like this whole, like I said, this whole month was crazy. I was working on this nonprofit and I got calls from a company that heard that I did inspections. I haven't done inspections like over 2 years. And they heard that I did inspections, was like, we want you to come work for us. I ain't looking for no job. But I told him, I said, I'm not looking for a job, but I will, we can work out something where I can be a contractor if you're interested. But I mean, those are the opportunities that you have. You have some people say, I don't want to work a job, or I can't work a job or whatever. But when you can start your own business and set your own hours, then and those opportunities are out there. And I don't know how I got on that. So, I just heard her talking about school. But I tell my young people all the time, because they tell, they're telling the kids in school, go to college, go to college, go to college. But you got that kid sitting in the back of the room who knows damn well he ain't going to college. But instead of taking him and saying, what are you good at? What skills do you have? Right. And let's see what you can do to create your own opportunities. And a lot of these kids have great skills.
They don't know.
Yeah, they don't know. Because nobody's ever sat them down and helped them to understand that. You got kids that they're the worst kid in school, but then they can go out on the street corner and cut up drugs and know the numbers and count and all this kind of stuff that, and it's like, wait a minute, but you couldn't do nothing in school. No, you didn't want to do what was in school. So when you find what they're good at, you could take them and show them how to take that skill and create their own businesses and opportunities and be successful.
Yeah. Also, to add to that, like, I was in the Army for 12 years and I was in food service. So when you become a sergeant, like, you're in charge of like so much stuff, like running the kitchen, your soldiers, stuff like that. So when I got close to getting out of the Army, I said, well, I've been in this field for 12 years and that's all I know from 18 to 30 something. So I thought I would be good at going to school and getting my restaurant and culinary management degree. So I got that, and then I got a understudy in culinary arts. What I found out is in the civilian world, I wanted to whoop all their asses because they were not disciplined. They would be sassy, and I'm like, what? What? like I had no idea because the Army is all I knew. But as I went on, like, I don't want to be in this field, so I'm going to go back to school for something else. And when you grow, when you learn and grow, like you don't have, you understand that you don't have to be unhappy in your first choice. You have other options, and that's what I think I'm proud of, like being, I'll say, strong-minded enough to know that I have other options and I don't have to be stuck in one situation.
Frustrating.
And I think that goes along with being a strong woman. Like we're strong-minded to know that we don't have to stay in a certain situation.
Has nothing to do with being a strong woman.
But and the thing is, and this is a white woman that's saying this.
Just
this is a white woman saying this.
What you need to do to survive.
No, what I'm saying,
it's okay for a white woman to say it. But
what I'm saying is,
I'm not talking about
not
you,
being
Will.
a
I'm
strong
talking
woman.
just in general.
That's being a responsible woman.
Okay,
right. It's
what I'm trying to get at. I'll use strong-minded woman. Okay, because I feel like that's a good term for what I want to explain. So you have, parents back, like my age parents, like 60s. They felt sometimes that they were stuck in a situation, and they weren't strong-minded enough to see that they had other options because they didn't have that support system. So now in this day and age, what I feel like a strong and independent woman is that you're strong-minded enough, even if you don't have a support system, to know your options, and you don't have to stay in the stuck place like an abusive relationship or somewhere where you're not happy. That's what I feel like a strong, independent woman is across the board: Black, Armenian, white, Spanish,
self-confidence. Self-confidence is what it's called.
So that's how I describe.
Well, we all, like I said, when you start giving labels, and that's where the issues in most relationships start, is when people want to start getting labels or titles in the relationship instead of just being in a relationship. You can have self-confidence and nobody will ever look at you awkward for saying I got self-confidence, because it's not a title, it's what you are. And we all can be self-confident. I can be self-confident, you can be self-confident. It's not a boss man or a boss woman, an alpha man, an alpha woman. It's self-confidence. And when you have self-confidence, that's what it's you're doing the same thing and saying the same thing, but it's called self-confidence. That's what it's called. That's basically what it is.
And some people need to prove themselves because,
but it's still self-confidence. You have self-confidence that you believe in yourself, that you can do something. That's what self-confidence is. But people will say, I'm a boss, or I'm a strong this, or I'm I'm whatever, I'm an alpha that. And see, once you start giving these labels is where the issues start. That's where the issues start. But if you were to walk around and say, I have self-confidence,
I was supposed to be talking about mind readers.
Mind readers. I'm a horrible mind reader. I'm not going to try to read your mind. I am even horrible at hints. I need you to tell me exactly what you mean and how you feel. I'm not going to get hints. It's going to go right over my head.
And because I'm so analytical and because I'm an overthinker, I do not need to read your mind. If you don't want me, tell me you don't want me. If you don't desire me, say you don't desire me. If you want a relationship, tell me, because I am not going to read your mind. I am good at ghosting and I'm good at friend zoning. I'm excellent. Who wants to assume?
I am good. You want to see my block list? I am wonderful.
Girl, the block list is powerful.
I'm learning how to block people. That was one of my biggest issues. Was blocking
media,
people.
My phone. Look, when I got a new phone, they was transferring my stuff over. They was like, "Oh, do you want to transfer your block?" No.
Transfer
nothing. Yes, girl, they will transfer
your
your block
list.
list over.
No,
Block
I
list.
know, yeah, but you don't want to transfer. Oh, I transfer my
No,
block
don't
list.
transfer nothing over because if they number come up now and it's not in my phone, it automatically goes to spam.
So why are y'all blocking people like that?
Oh,
Because
I
we
don't
don't
want
want to no more.
you have disturbed my peace. At some
Zero
point, you have
tolerance. That's right.
Exactly. At some point, you have disturbed my peace, and I can't. And I don't care, cousin.
Peace of mind.
I'm only obligated to 2 human beings in this world, and that's the ones that I created. Other than that, you can be spliced.
Back in September, I met somebody back in September. He lives in Rochester. You know, we didn't really hit it off. We had different views about like my medical situation because I had a massive heart attack and he wasn't comfortable with that. And so anyway, things didn't progress or anything. I deleted all his text messages. I didn't even put his phone number with his name. So anyway, long story short, he messaged me. He texted me out of the blue. Hey, how you doing? I'm like, who is this? He's like, it's Dre. I'm like, D-R-E Dre, Dr. Dre? Like, who is Dre? And he was like, no. And I sent me a picture. I'm like, what are you? I said, why are you texting me? And he's like, oh, because you're so sweet. I just want to say hi and see how you're doing. You know, I'm like, why did you even keep my number? Like, why are you texting me? Do you want
He said you were sweet.
Yeah.
He must have the wrong number.
Or he must have tasted something that you didn't.
So we never were intimate or anything like that. But he was like, "Oh, you're so sweet and you're a sweetheart, and I just want to say hi, see how you're doing." And I'm like, "I'm fine." Like, what?
He said you was a sweetheart.
I was like, I'm fine.
You might have the wrong number.
Read your mind. What do you want? Why are you texting me? Like, I can't read your mind. That's what I'm saying. Like, why? What is the purpose that you're texting me? Just to say hi and see that I'm still alive? Or you want to link up? You want to take me out to dinner, coffee? Like, what is your purpose?
Wait, question. So what about you having a heart attack made him uncomfortable?
I was curious about that too.
Yeah, just like in general, like medical wise, because I can't do like a lot of things that I used to do. As far as like go to the gym and work out like I want to. I have limitations now that I have to learn my new normal for me in my medical condition.
You said you can still swing from them chandeliers though, huh?
A lot of men will express that's a little overwhelming. That's a little overwhelming. I'm a breast cancer survivor, and for some men, it's a little overwhelming. You know, my breast has been reconstructed. So to some men, that's a little alarming for them. That's not, you know what I'm saying? They don't want to deal with someone sick.
Right.
For men to deal with women who have been through things. And some men
don't like it.
But see, the people
I know you may not, but you know what? You get to a place that you get comfortable and confident in your healing and you being okay. Mm-hmm. So it don't bother me when a man be like, you had breast cancer. Oh, so your breasts are, you got, you know, they not real. It don't bother
me. And instantly it's going to be like, oh, okay, you're a bitch is what it's giving. You're giving bitch energy. Yeah. So yeah, bye. Like,
why do you think that?
Because what about somebody's health condition?
You just degraded a man for expressing concern. Why?
Not concerned. Did you hear what she just said? That wasn't concern.
I'm well aware. I'm well acquainted with Anita's story, and I'm well acquainted with what Anita just said. You just said that's bitch energy. Did you not?
Yes, I did, and I mean it, and I stand by it, and I'm gonna double down on it.
Why would a man expressing concern about his ability to handle something?
Right?
What is the concern?
They said they didn't want
that he can't handle
it's not a
capacity.
It's not a concern.
His concern that he can, not about her, whether he's capable of handling that situation.
And it's giving exactly what I said it's giving, and goodbye.
Why would you consider it that if he is expressing concern about his ability to do something?
Your ability.
I'm just trying to understand it. I'm not defending
it. I understand what you're saying.
Because it's not a concern. He
It's selfishness.
He has expressed his feelings of not wanting to deal with someone.
His selfishness, right?
Okay, that's fine.
I don't think
he didn't want to deal with the situation. His selfishness.
In my case, I don't think it was
But in your case, it may be a little different because maybe I want somebody that I can go bike riding with, or somebody that I can have a gym partner, or et cetera, et cetera. So I can understand somebody saying, this may not be a relationship that's compatible because I go skating, and I do this and I do that. So that's not going to work for me. So that's different. But somebody saying, you survived breast cancer, which is, to me, is a great feat. And the fact that you had your breast reconstructed, I can't deal with it. It's giving big bitch. Bye. That's what I said.
Well,
I mean
it's the way you respond to it.
Can I say something?
It's not so much the fact that it's basically the same thing Herb just said, but it's just the way you respond to it, the way you.
But I mean the way I respond. That's
right.
I mean
that's what I'm saying.
What she means.
It's just
the issue is the way you respond to it.
Can I
go ahead, Sharon. Go ahead.
Mommy going that way, they understand. But a new guy, some new guys are just totally overwhelmed by that, and they don't really.
Yeah, they don't know how
to deal with.
Well, with a new person, that would be a lot to put on them. So they may not understand somebody new. If it's somebody you've been dealing with and they like you,
it's a lot to put on them.
Yeah. So they may be more.
I'm confused with
y'all.
Go ahead. Hold on.
Sharon, you gotta come on so we can see you. That way we know you're talking.
Sharon. She got on her moo. She got on her moo right now.
My phone is dying. I keep trying to plug it up.
She got her bonnet on.
Your moo.
She got her bonnet on.
Her moo and bonnet on.
She got her bonnet on.
I don't got my moo. Hold up. First of all, my phone is dying. My phone's dying, so I gotta.
You thought you was hiding that bonnet.
Charge it.
Yeah.
So
oh, my bad.
I'm too tired, y'all. I'm going to bed.
I know I gotta go too. It's 12 o'clock, y'all.
Yeah, we supposed to get out of
Auntie
here.
is tired. I'm going to bed. I gotta work.
I thought you had slipped into the moo.
It was great being on the panel tonight. I love you all. It's so good to be able to have these discussions and be open, get different perspectives. Thank you for letting me into y'all circle.
You're always welcome.
I appreciate it. I feel welcome. And I'm going to bed. Good night.
Okay, good night.
Au revoir.
I know I gotta go to bed too. I gotta get up in the morning.
Good night. I'm going to bed too, y'all. Good night.
All right, so no closing comments. Y'all just going to bed. Good night.
I gotta see my clothes.
Yeah,
is that your closing remark?
I'm ready for the after party. I'm awake now.
Yeah, right. You always ready for the after party.
Anybody want to get some closing comments?
I'm gonna get my closing comment out because I gotta get up. I gotta get up in the morning. I got an appointment in the morning. So in closing, this was a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful conversation. Like I said, I always look forward to Mondays because it just starts my week off very well. Just having these conversations, knowing that we have so many different people to come on and watch and rewatch what we're talking about. I see people talking about it during the week, which means that we're touching and changing minds and helping some people to understand. And that's what this show is all about. And I really appreciate you guys allowing me to be a part of this show because like I said, it makes my week start off very well. Shaughnessy, Anita, Annetta, Lakia, all you guys, Sharon and Herb and Dave. Like I said, the different thoughts and minds and ideologies just makes the show what it is. And I want to close with headshots. Be careful out there. Have a good night, everybody.
Thanks, Willie. Appreciate you.
Good night. Good night.
I have nothing except for I appreciate a man telling me straight up, I can handle it or I can't handle it. Don't beat around the bush. Just be straight up with me. So I know it's going to be a booty call, it's going to be nothing, or it's going to be something. I appreciate that. So I don't have to guess. That's what went along with mind reading. I don't like to guess. I like you to tell me straight up what it's going to be like. This is going to be like nothing. That's it. Good night. Thanks for the chat. I needed it.
Good night. Appreciate you.
Appreciate y'all. Broaden horizons.
Shaughnessy.
Closing comments. I don't know. I feel like we touched on a lot tonight. I guess be true to yourself, because I guess a lot of people think this is the liar's corner, not the counselor's corner. Sorry that you guys don't know or understand or want to be a part or more of a part so you can see, but that's pretty much it. And yes, I'm keeping the same energy. I don't like that. A man that can't, your breast is reconstructed because you beat and survived cancer and you can't handle it. I don't like it. That's weak energy for me.
Yeah. I mean, some guys just can't. It's too overwhelming for them to understand.
What's overwhelming? What's overwhelming?
It is.
A breast? A reconstructed breast?
A medical surgery, I mean, any kind of serious medical condition is not for every man or every woman to handle.
But I mean,
it's overwhelming.
I guess they sleep with people that get breast implants, and
that's different than having a potential relationship, though.
They're in relationship with.
And it may come, Shaughnessy, it may come from when it's reconstructed, the look of it. Is it going to be appealing or whatever the case is?
That's weak energy.
Yeah. Do they have a visual of how it's supposed to look? Or whatever. It's a lot of stuff.
When you turn 70 and your balls drop and shrivel, that image is not going to be pretty either. But
you might have been with them. You might have been with them for years, so
I gotta stick with that, huh? Anyway, be true to yourself.
That's all you can ask for, and I appreciate it. Young is in charge.
Herb, where's that pizza? I'm hungry.
It's all personal.
Personal pizza? That's what you're making? Okay.
Herb ain't cooking up tonight, huh?
No, it's already in the oven.
Oh, leave me in peace.
What kind of pizza is it?
Tell you what I got going.
In your air fryer? I'm gonna bring my air fryer over so you can cook something.
Don't do that.
Herb don't like company. He don't want or like company. He don't like nobody but his cat.
I'm selective with who I allow in my house. I've never had a problem with that.
I agree. I am too.
Oh, hold on.
Yeah, I don't like anybody's germs in my house. Especially just anybody's dick germs, huh, Dave?
You already know.
Dick germs. Wait.
Shaughnessy new to that one.
Mm-hmm.
Look at her. What do you got going?
What you making?
Some baked potatoes, chicken.
A baked potato.
Veggies will soon be on deck. That's a turkey loin and a couple baked potatoes.
Oh,
sounds like just enough for me.
I was just about to say, okay, personal meal.
No, you got people on your GPS. Don't nobody come to my house with GPS and sorry.
Oh yeah, everywhere I go, somebody gonna know where I am.
Yeah, no, see, I don't operate like that.
Somebody's gonna know where I am.
Hey, that's fine. I dig it. Like I said, I dig it. I just don't function like that. I'm not a homicidal maniac.
But there's people that are too, like just like out at the bar.
I said I am.
No, I
don't know. Hold on. I don't know who you come across in your daily life, and that's not my business.
Dateline.
All I'm simply saying is there's no need for a woman to come here and have GPS enabled. What I do is between her and me. If somebody else
Until they
needs to
come
know,
up missing.
if somebody else needs to know, then you need to be gone and stay gone, not come through here.
Yeah, funny, whatever.
I'm serious though.
I know.
Don't nobody need to know a woman's coming here.
Okay, I'm gonna come snag one of those baked potatoes and carry my ass back home.
I'm gonna start.
to pull up.
I'm gonna ask my boyfriend if any of his friends have his location, because I would be
I
surprised.
guarantee he's gonna more than likely tell you no. I have 8 brothers. Guess how many? I'm sorry, I have 7 brothers. Guess how many of them know where I'm at any given time? 0.
Yikes.
Well,
Because Herb is undercover.
I do understand for the push for women sometime to know that, and I think I think that's when you out in the dating game or whatever the case is, and you trying to you just getting established and getting out there. You start meeting people, of course, because it's a crazy ass
Even with me
world out
going
here.
to the bar, I went to the bar. I came home by myself. Like I went and walked my dog.
Week?
Yeah,
Okay.
I went and walked my dog.
I was gonna put a GPS location on your ass if you went in that house when you was walking through the parking lot and all that. Like, yo, you better be in the house.
I was walking my dog.
Wow. Emphasis on wow.
But to each his own. Herb, give your closing comment.
My closing comment. Mines. I don't care to read them. I don't care what's on them. If you don't tell me, I'm not gonna ask. So you can sit there looking pouty face like the clown that blew up your tied up animal. I don't care. You better say something.
I'm coming to
And
get one of the baked potatoes. That's what I got to say.
Oh, you out of luck. There's enough for one person. And as always, growth and understanding occurs in the gray area. Godspeed. See you next time.
You know I gotta mess with Herb.
For me, with the independent and all that stuff, like I said earlier, it really does. When you connected with someone, you're not even really throwing that out there like that. You kind of know what you dealing with. Again, KYP, know your personnel. You kind of already knowing what you're dealing with, so you don't really face that or struggle with that. But I guess again, for some people who deal with people who come off with that energy from the beginning, because some people put it out there,
hold signs up and say,
it pretty much without the signs, but that they're saying that whatever. Look, what could you do differently? Or I've been through this. And I think some guy who, is on the up and up, he's probably not going to really deal with that. Not saying that guys want any weak women, because you really don't. I mean, you do want women to kind of, as a man, depend on you for certain things, but that doesn't mean that they're weak. It can't handle anything. And I think some people get that misconstrued when they think like, oh, or if he don't want a strong woman, he wants someone that's weak. And we're not talking about weak like that you can't do anything and you're needy and you're always calling. You can't get through a work shift, can't go out and have a couple beers with the fellas. You're calling all that. No, that shit is annoying.
Because I'm needy.
Yeah.
I know I'm needy.
I know I'm needy. I need somebody to pump my gas and take out that trash.
Absolutely. I know. I just
my car.
Y'all, on Friday, I asked my boyfriend how far he think I could get in my car when it say dashes. He got so mad. we almost fell off for the whole weekend, only because I said, how far you think I could get with dashes for the gas? It says dash miles to empty. How far you think I could
and that put him in a predicament, because now you somewhere the car cut off, and now he got to find a way to get to you, and who knows what he was doing or whatever the case is.
He wasn't doing nothing. It's not that serious. It's not that serious. If it turn off, it turn off.
Let me translate that for you, Dave. You ain't doing nothing that I deem important, so come rescue me.
No, it didn't cut off. I just wanted to see how far I could get.
But you just said he wasn't doing anything.
I have roadside. What I'm saying is it wasn't gonna affect you. I just wanted to see, like.
Let me really translate that. That's called a shit test.
Yeah, see.
No, if she really wants to know, like, how many miles can I really get if that dash is like this?
Right, because I have
that's the question I would ask.
So if your tank was really at that level and he just chilling, whatever, like, okay, I ain't got to worry in the world. Now that becomes a concern. Like, I hope her car don't cut off, whatever, and I have to go out there. So
well, at least we know who cares about that, huh?
I guess.
Like I said, it's a shit test.
Yeah.
In other words, if he don't exhibit a monochrome concern, then he don't care about you.
No, I wanted him to tell me how far I could get.
Then you don't need to be doing that then.
Yeah, because this thing gonna be like, why didn't you put no damn gas in the damn car or tell me you needed gas?
Sometimes we just forget.
Listen, and that I don't, sometimes I get to the point. I'm not gonna lie and say I'm not a spoiled individual.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, we know you spoiled, so don't even.
Sometimes I don't look. So I saw it. I swear, at one point it said 50 miles, and then the next time I got in the car, it said, I swear it said 2, and then before I even got to 2, it said dash, dash, dash. And I was like, I wonder how far I can make it.
I wonder too. Same thing with my car. I wonder too. I want to know. I don't think the user manual tells me.
Yeah, like
how many miles are on the reserve tank?
Can I drive home and you pump my gas, or do I have to stop at this gas station? Tell me.
Like guys who want to say, pay attention to details. They like pay attention. Sometimes you just, I'm sure he probably done said stuff, whatever. Make sure you have this amount. Make sure you do this or that.
Because me, I'm not coming to get you no gas. I'm not coming to pick you up. I see you when I see you.
Mm-hmm. We already know that, Herb.
Wow.
That's the joy of being having a man that you need that doesn't mind maintaining, keeping up with your car, the trash.
You have a gas gauge. It's not my fault you're too stupid to read it.
Listen, I just wanted to see you. It was late. No, it wasn't late.
The more reason to check it when you start to leave.
That was it. It was windy. It was windy, and I did not want to get out. So I wanted to see if I could get.
Like I said, it was a shit test to see if he would actually come.
No, it wasn't. Because look, I wanted to see really what it was can I make it home or buy the house? And I know for a fact if I get to the house or buy the house, he'll come put gas in the car. That's not a question. Like
I said, she wanted to see if he would actually interrupt his day to come save her.
No, he interrupted his day, and I know he would. What I'm saying is, do I have to take this L and stand in the wind and pump this gas, or can I make it to you so you can pump the gas?
Like I originally said, you wanted to see if he would actually come pump the gas.
No,
I
know for a fact he is. That's not a question.
So why would you say it then?
I want to see how far I was going to make it, if I was going to make it to him or not. I was coming from work.
How many miles can she make it on each?
Right. Yeah, on dash. Could I make it to you so you can pump my gas?
You wouldn't have to worry if you actually put gas in the car before it got to E.
But that's not the situation.
Here's the thing.
Let me ask. Hold on. Let me ask either one of y'all a question. Would you jump out of a functioning plane without a parachute that worked?
Sometimes a parachute don't work either, even if you have one.
Would you jump out the plane?
No.
Without a parachute that didn't function?
No, I wouldn't.
Thank you.
But there's no AAA in the sky.
Listen, y'all got some good talking points. Drop them in the counseling corner for the week. and see how you get roasted or not get roasted. Oh, playing games.
We gonna bring that out in the open because women good for that nonsense.
I already know I'm gonna get roasted because he said, "Come on with the goofy." That was exactly his response. Come on with the goofy shit.
That's what he said.
Overly mad. It wasn't that serious, but whatever.
It wasn't that serious until your ass is stuck on the highway somewhere with no gas and nobody's coming to get you.
So
it's never that serious until it's that serious.
And that becomes a safety. That becomes a safety issue. Whatever. Little things lead to big things. And
oh, wait a minute. He wouldn't know where she is because he don't have his GPS on her. Ain't that some shit?
Yeah, true.
I see my location.
I would hang up, prank caller. I don't know who you are. Call 911. They'll come get you.
Stop testing man in those regards like
Which
that.
may be a good reason Herb may be single. I don't know.
No, I just don't play the games.
It's not a game.
It's not a game. It really wasn't a game. I really
No. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is this.
The situation.
If my boy called me and said, "Yo, man, I ran out of gas," the first thing I'm gonna ask him is, "How the hell did you do that?"
But that question is irrelevant because it already happened, so it don't matter how we ran out of gas. It already happened, and we can't take it back.
Want me to tell you why it's relevant? Want me to tell you why it's a relevant question? Because if she's saying she called to see how far she could get, she didn't know. So at any point in time, she could have ran out of gas. It just didn't happen that way.
Okay, but if you ask that question, I'd be like, that's a stupid question because it already happened. So your question is irrelevant.
She didn't know. So it could have happened at any time. It just
Why would you ask that question? It already happened.
Remember we talked about people wanting to have interrupting people's peace and kindness. That's an interruption.
Thank you.
That's
you think so?
I said it earlier. You wanted him to stop what he was doing to come rescue you. This is why I say y'all don't listen. I said that.
Some men like to do that.
Oh, now we want to put it off on some men like to do that. Well, some women like to cook and clean.
I was just about to
in
say,
some situations, men like to be the hero.
I was just about to say, well, not
being a hero.
It don't even have to be a hero thing, but on the weekend, typically I typically fill up on Friday or Saturday, and that is typically when I get off. My boyfriend is typically waiting for me. So, with that being said, he is waiting for me, and we usually, or I'm there for moral support. He usually will fill up our tank and wash our cars. So that was the question. How far can I make it on dash?
So what day was this? What day was this?
It was on Friday. It was on Friday. It was how far can I make it on dash? And he was basically by my job at the corner of my job. It's a gas station. But listen, it was cold. So that's why he's like, come on with the goofy shit. And I mean, I get it. Like, all right, answer the question or don't. But I made it home on dash or to the gas station. I made it to the gas station.
And answer the question or don't. Do as I say.
I made it home on dash. And that's it.
Did you learn from it?
No.
Some guys like to have that purpose, though. They feel like
I did learn from it. Let me take that back. I will not tell him the next time I'm on dash.
You just better off just handling it. You better off just handling it.
Yeah, because he just definitely blew it out of proportion. Yeah.
No, because.
And why do you think that is? Take a wild guess. Since you like to let people know where you are by your GPS.
Sex traffickers are after me. He thinks sex traffickers are after me, and if I get stopped on the highway, or if my car stops on the highway, there's gonna be some guy in a big white van that's gonna come get me.
Safety. But why does he need to care when your father and all your sisters know where you are?
They're in another state.
That's her boyfriend. He should care.
And if that was the case, he would have a GPS tracker on her. He doesn't.
Maybe
Putting
he
you
ain't
out there.
trying to be
He-
like that.
He putting you out there, Shando. He putting you out there.
I'm pulling cars tonight. I'm pulling the whole car catalog.
I don't think I do anything though, so
If that was the case, then your sisters and your father wouldn't need to know where you are.
Hold on, Shawnee. You don't have to explain yourself to us, right?
You're correct, but she already put her foot in the mouse trap. We gotta talk.
We gotta keep on answering you.
Well, one way or another, one way or another, the private eye always gets to the bottom of the case.
My lawyer said I don't have to speak anymore.
Thank you, Shawnee. I represent.
I wouldn't take an advice from an attorney who still doesn't know what the bar looks like.
The what?
I would not take advice from an attorney who doesn't know what the bar looks like.
The attorney knows what the bar looks like.
I'm not talking about the one you drink. I'm not talking about the one you drink at.
So
I
guess
24.
Yeah, we got to go. So I guess at the end of the day is he got upset over because it's probably something he already told you before and mentioned before, and you kind of did your own thing, and that's where he got upset at. So sometimes
I just drive the car.
Sometimes y'all gotta eat humble pie and just listen. And I think that a lot of women don't like to eat humble pie and say,
right.
I just can't be quiet and listen to him, whatever. And because guys, we might say our things, but we're not gonna go on too long, whatever, especially when we write. We might just say whatever the case is, want you to listen, and then say, damn, I'm done. I'm about to go back and watch this game or whatever the case is. It's the arguments that come in for, like, to keep it going, whatever. Like, damn, you know you were dead wrong. Why are you still talking to me? Why are you still
we want
talking
to
to me?
express our perspective and our point.
There's no perspective after y'all had this conversation before. Make sure you have gas in your car or whatever the case is. You might have traveled further this week. Make sure you have that. Like, yeah, he's probably going to think that because it is some freaks in a white van will come and get you or whatever the case is. You don't want to have to
They want the youngest in charge. They want that tenderoni.
Yeah. Even though some of your friends, Shaughnessy, can watch you walk around butt naked and not do nothing. Yeah, not them freaks in the white van.
I'm with you, Shawnee. I'm with you on that.
You can listen to Anita if you want to.
Hey, I live to be 45 and a half, so I'm good. I'm still here.
So that's the end. That's the end all be all. Living to be 45, huh? That's it. Long as you live to 45, you good, huh?
Unless Herb lures me over there with some baked potato, then I'm.
You got a better chance of getting a baked potato for Joe Biden right now than from Herb. So.
Damn sure do.
I want that baked potato, Herb. You got two of them.
Right. So
small.
When you going to invite
they big enough for one individual.
When is Anita coming over?
Don't ask me.
Anita, when are you going? When are you going over?
Wait, I'm sorry. Wait a minute. You were asking to see if I was going to open the door. No, I ain't opening the door. Danger! Besides, she's in school. She can't function like that.
That's right. I got papers to do.
Boo.
Yep.
I'm doing a paper on how COVID and toxic masculinity affects the chemical substance abuse and use.
Wait, why is it COVID and toxic masculinity?
because they both have something to do with it. Toxic masculinity has something to do with the rise in COVID.
But you don't think that's like a broad spectrum? Like we went from a pandemic to toxic masculinity?
No, there's a paper on it. There's research on it.
It wouldn't be shocked that they try to put it out there like that. Wow.
I mean, I found it, so I was surprised too. I'm like, how does toxic masculinity tie in with the rise of COVID? But it does.
Let us know how that paper go. All right, people.
When I come back from Florida in a couple weeks. I'll start writing my paper.
Living up in
My grandma's
Florida.
gonna be 108 years old, so I gotta go see her.
Oh
Yeah,
yes.
she's living her
Yes,
life,
that's a
whatever.
blessing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Tell her to send us back, come back with the formula on how she
The
did
recipe.
it. Yeah, because damn, I want to live as long as I can.
The recipe is stay prayerful, be humble, and believe in God and Jesus Christ. That's what
Yeah,
she
a
got.
lot of young women ain't gonna live to see 100 then.
Yeah, it got to be some more other stuff than that.
You know what? Good night. Good night.
All right,
Hey,
we out. All right.
People grow within the gray area.
Thanks for calling that. Youngest in charge. We out of here. Stay tuned for the post in the Council's Corner this week, and see y'all next week. And everybody be safe. And Shaughnessy, make sure you have some gas in that damn car, girl.
Baked potatoes.
All right,
Yeah,
y'all.
I'm coming to get me a baked potato.
We out.
And I got onions too, and sour cream. Bye.